Hey there, friendlies. How's up? Welcome to the 26th of October episode of the Beardblades and Bushcraft livestream, also known as the Raindance Bushcraft livestream, depending on how YouTube is feeling with the ban hammer. Just to clarify for those of you who may be new around here, the reason I start off playing Boron every week now is because Russell said that sometimes I go live and an advertisement rolls. So by the time the ad is over, you might have missed the first part of my spectacular delivery. So that is why I'm making the noises, the noisy noises. Excuse me. Let's start off with a little bit of the usual housekeeping. If at any point tonight, at all, you think you might be enjoying what's going on, then I do invite you to hit that thumbs up. If at any point tonight you kind of decide you hate what's going on, that's okay. Boom. Frowny thumb. That works as well. And if you are watching us time shifted to tomorrow or next week or next month or any of that other good stuff, then I massively appreciate you. So, with the housekeeping out of the way and the eye itchy, let's get on to the pouring of the beer, shall we? Let's see if we can do this without duffing it up. Is Serge with us tonight? He's not here yet, so I should probably get a good pour going. It's so weird. Like I've said to you guys before, that I never drink beer anymore except for these Tuesday nights. Like those of you who are actually watching the episodes as well as these live streams will know that I'm dealing with a health issue and I'm trying to lose a lot of weight and get healthier and stuff. And it is actually, it's going slowly, but it is going in the right direction. I'm losing about 1 pound a week. And in fact, this week, for the first time in, I can't even tell you how long, I'm under 190. So I'm drinking to my own health tonight. Yes. That is sprightly. This is Champ d'Eau. So Waterfield, I guess. It's a blonde ale. It is, what's this, 473 milliliters, I guess? Yeah, 473 milliliters. It's a 4.5, so it's kind of a light beer. And it is biologique. It is organic. Okay, it's organic. This blonde ale is the sweetness of our summers, the wind and the barley, the sing-song of the gully. Oh, the gully, as in an actual gully. I thought sing-song of a bird, but no, it's actually like a geological. Yep. Okay, we're just gonna move right along. Anyways, it's very good. It is definitely summery. So it's kind of weird to be drinking it in October, but hey. All right, so who we got with us here tonight? I'm going to start paying attention to all of you good people. Chris Garland says, just popping in to say hello. Can't make it tonight. All right, that's okay. It's too bad, Chris. It's always good having you around, but that's all right. See you again next time. Yes, sir. See you next week. Bettina? You're here before like 10:55? That's amazing. I love it. Good to see your name in the side chat. Hey there, Charles. Charles W. in the house. Grace, of course. Nice to see you. There's Mr. Pine Martin. Always good to see his name show up in the side chat. David Evans is in the house. Nice to see you as well. I've been speaking to you a lot lately. Mark Putmans. How's it going? Charles says, true, Russell is right. But I don't see Russell's name here. Yes. Oh, okay. Yes. Russell is right. Yes. And Grace is agreeing with you. You're talking about the commercial because I'm already late on the uptake. Long's Quest. How's it going? Hike with Mike in the house. Nice to see you. And there's Russell. If you play that drum a bit at the start in double time, it's amazing. Thanks. Look who's here. How's it going, mister? Just sitting here minding my own business and bam, I farted. Okay. Thanks for bringing down the tone of the conversation. Heck with Mike says 190 is not bad at all. I am 175. Well, my doctor wants me down around 170, 175 for my height and age and stuff. But I just can't believe I'm under 190 for the first time in years. So, working my butt off, but it's showing. So definitely, literally working my butt off. That's a dad joke, isn't it? Sorry, guys. So that's the beer I got tonight. I'm having that. I'm going to make it last as long as I can. And I told you guys, like, I'm drinking down the whiskey collection. I'm not taking any of the good stuff out for Tuesday nights anymore because I don't pay enough attention to the dram, right? Because I'm paying attention to you guys. So this is what I got tonight. This is a silver medal award-winning whiskey. It was a Spirit Selection at the Concours Mondial de Bruxelles, so the World Brussels it's it's an award given in Brussels. So it got the silver medal in 2020 for some damn thing. That doesn't really mean anything to me. I don't think this is not a special tasting whiskey in any way. It is very typically Canadian in some ways. It's got kind of it's better than that, but this is not one of my favorites. Yeah, it's a very passable whiskey and it's very affordable. So I'm going to have that a little later. In fact, I'm going to pour it now and let it breathe while we... I don't know how many of you watch my whiskey channel, but Friday I put up a review of the Proper 12. That's the Conor McGregor whiskey. And spoiler alert, I gave it a 3 on 10. I'm still kind of angry at it. I mean, thank the gods it was under $50 because, I mean, even at, I think it's 38, I bought it in Ontario. It was still an expensive mistake, but hey, whatevs. If any of you guys like watching a guy dunk on a shitty whiskey for like 16 minutes, go over there and check it out. Tenenbaum in the house. Nice to see you, mister. Everyone's just saying hi to each other. Russell says I look great. I think it's because I'm just so fabulous. I'm just so fabulous. I do think I hear the tiny human talking to me from the top of the stairs, but hey, I'm on screen. Yeah, everyone's just sort of saying hi. It's all right, mister. I would have been disappointed if you hadn't walked in saying something awkward and strange. Russell says he's not overweight. It's just that he should be 8 feet tall. So you're not overweight, you're under tall. I get that. I feel the same. I feel absolutely the same. Charles and Russell, you guys talking about metal detectors? Are you talking about metal detectors? Hey, Carol, nice to see you. Shawnee, yes, I have been practicing bass for the upcoming gig. In fact, there are 2 of them. One on the 20th of November and one on the 27th, I believe. So yes, in fact, that is part of the reason I didn't get a video up on Friday. It'll be going up this Friday instead. I just gotta rocket through it. Maybe tomorrow night. Tim says, listening for now. I'm starting my workout. Working at the core tonight, then to the canvas and the Jameson. Nice. What are you painting tonight, Tim? I'm just trying to catch up here, guys. I'm seeing if there are any names that I have not. I don't want to snub anyone. All right. So I don't remember what I was going to talk about tonight, so I figured we'll just do a... I would kind of like to do a panel or an interview on twig stoves. The twig stove review that I put up, I think the week before this past Friday, some of the comments I got on that stove review were very interesting. Martin said, Pine Martin, pointed out something really interesting, and I was going to go get my nano stove and bring it here to show it to you guys, because it would have been interesting, but I forgot it. I came running down here and got on as fast as I could tonight. But he mentioned that he has a folding stove. I think, is it the Bushbox XL? Or if you're still here, Martin, is it the Bushbox XL you have? Is the Bushbox the one that's the folder? Or is it the... Is it the German one? Because mine is that, whatever the name of the German one is, I get all of these little bush box, this box, that bush stove names completely mixed up. So I have the Nano of, I believe, the German one that has the little flame on the side. And oh, you have the Nano as well. Okay. For some reason, I thought yours was bigger. That point you made about the folding stove rather than the breakdown stove in cold weather rings very true to me. It's something that I never really thought about because of the fact that I use an open fire way more than I ever use a stove like this. But since doing my video, like I've put it together and taken it apart like once or twice, and there's an ease of use to those folders that it really wins. You know what I'm saying? It really, really wins. I think that the engineering behind them is probably a little more expensive than just hold on, I'm just kicking off my slippers. Like just using a water cutter or whatever to cut out something that jigsaws together is probably less expensive than machining something with hinges. But like all these stoves are expensive though. I was about to say something, but they're all expensive. You know, none of them are really cheap unless you're buying that cheapo, warpy kind of Chinese made like practically from like aluminium or something. In fact, I think Mark Young has done a couple of episodes on those stoves and has found them to be warpy and stuff. Do any of you guys watch Mark Young? What's the name he uses? Shunpike, I think it is. I think he's Shunpike, but like his channel name is Mark Young. He does a lot of coffee videos, like bush coffee. He does a lot of stove videos. He's got a lot of stoves. Why did I mention him? Oh yeah, because he's done some of those Chinese stuff. So I'm like, okay, I'll just spend the money on the German or the American or the Canadian one. Russell, you can join whenever the hell you want. How many of you guys were watching Canoe Hound's video tonight? We were doing pumpkins with the kids, but I think he had Barbara on, right? And that's a guy who there are some people who go out for a weekend or an overnighter, film it, do this and that. And then there are guys like him who do these wicked treks. Dog missing a tooth, girlfriend waiting for him at the end of it. I wonder what life would be like, to do that for a living. Trek across Newfoundland. That sounds amazing. I'm just Shunpike Bushcraft. Yes, Martin. Do you know him at all? Because when I very, very way at the beginning of me knowing who you were, I discovered you and him on the same day, and so for like a month or two, in my head, I got you guys mixed up all the time. It took like a good month because I was watching a lot of both of your videos, and I discovered you like literally on the same day. And so I've often wondered if you guys have ever spoken. Okay, I will put the invite down below. I don't want to lose control of tonight's chit chat, but if Hike wants to come on, And I think that would be really cool. Everything is kosher here. Why? What did David say? Everything good tonight? Oh, yeah, I see. Okay. David thinks that my wood stove video was well done. I don't think a titanium stove would be any later. They do have a titanium version of that stove, and there is a weight savings, but I don't remember how much it is. And because I'm not a weight weenie, I don't know if we really use that term in bushcraft or hiking or whatever, but in mountain biking, there's a segment of the mountain biking pop, and well, all of the road biking population, called weight weenies, these are the guys who will spend untold amounts of money to replace every bolt on a bike frame with titanium bolts because it saves like 20 grams. I don't do the weight weenie thing. I don't need my stove to be the lightest it can be. I don't need my pan to be the lightest it can be. I don't want to be carrying around a Dutch oven that weighs 8 pounds or anything, but I'm not spending massive on the full titanium setup because to me that kind of weight savings don't balance off the price tag. If this channel was making me like a few $100 a month or something, I might see it differently, but then like everything I buy, I'm buying with an eye towards filming anyway. But like in my day-to-day sort of hit the woods whenever I can, spend a day, spend an overnighter, blah, blah, blah. It has been a long time since I've hiked like 20 kilometers to my campsite or 30 kilometers to my campsite kind of thing. Like a long time, I may hike 3K, 5K to my campsite at this point. So I don't need the titanium stove, between the titanium and the cold rolled steel that I have, there's a stainless steel version. Again, if I'm going to spend extra on the model of stuff, the kid stove, I will spend extra on more parts. Like there's a version of that stuff that has a little door that goes on the port where you put in the twigs. That kind of stuff I might spend money on. But unless I'm really, hauling a huge pack around, I don't need everything to be titanium. So, but in my experience with stuff, like pots and stuff, titanium is massively lighter than steel is. Nate Muskoka in the house. Nice to see you around. I'd like to say that your Instagram pictures are fabulous right now. Yeah, there's an interesting point that Mike was saying. Mike is saying, always so busy with work the past couple of years, every camping trip always feels rushed. I hate that. I don't like that either. I like I like to hit the woods and decompress. I don't like hitting the woods and being like, okay, I've got like 4 hours. What can I get done? I like to sit there, relax a little bit. Enjoy myself. Decompress. Be alone. Martin says that, yeah, okay, you have known each other via their channels for a long time. Yeah. Never met, yeah, I've never met any other YouTubers at all. A tree ID walk. I would like to do that. Yeah, I think that is a different Mark Young, Nate, because the one I'm thinking about, I think is he in Nova Scotia or PEI? I think he's Nova Scotia, eh? Yeah, okay. Thank you for bringing that up, Nate, because I sort of got distracted. That's where the real weight of titanium hits you, in the wallet. Like, no way. $200 on a twig stove? No way. And it's funny because 190 is not that much more than the more entry level prices on some of these stoves. Like, if the stove starts at $100, Nah, 190 is still a lot more money. I was trying to make sort of the point that the relative price lightens the load a little bit of the sticker shot of $190 stove, but no, I'm totally second guessing myself here. That was a stupid point to make. To try to make, actually. But you know, Nate and Martin, I've spoken to you about this too. One of the things I liked about buying that stove is that, you know, it's a bunch of guys in Ontario who decided to make a stove. You know, I'm not paying into a massive company. I love that. I talk about this all the time. Now, you guys know this, or most of you guys know this. Hey, Sharon Q in the house. How's it going? Tim is painting a fall scene with waterfalls looking through an old stone bridge. It is taking me a while. You know, it's funny. I don't have anything near me right now that I have painted or drawn. Nothing really. Which, coming from a guy who went to art school, seems a little ridiculous, right? Yeah, weird. My favorite medium was watercolor when I was still painting, by the way. Well, there's the thing, David, like across the board, it's just the material tends to be lighter. No matter what. Like if something is 540 grams, then the titanium version might be like 230 or something. I think that might be bombast. Maybe it's more like 400 grams. I don't really know. Nate, do you know what the weight of the titanium one is? But David, I'm kind of agreeing with you in that when it's something of that size, it's part of a system that's sitting on your back, right? And so the difference between like 540 grams and 410 or 350, when it's part of the system, it is not that big a deal, unless your philosophy, right? Because it's a drop in the bucket, but every bucket is filled by drop after drop after drop, right? I mean, I'm sort of devil's advocating my own self here. So there are two Mark Youngs then. Actually, there's probably a lot of Mark Youngs. Ian, the web lord in the house. How's it going, mister? Jackie, come on, man. How's it going? You got the Snow Peak? From a giveaway. Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't pay for it either, although it would be nice to have something that sweet. Just checking. Heck of Mike says, I like to be alone. It's more relaxing. I will be camping with my buddies, and it is always a great time, and I value it so much, but my time alone in the woods I value the most. I do as well. I like my solitude no matter what, to be straight with you. I really like to be alone. It's when I'm the most sort of at ease. And there's just a magic to being alone in the woods that I cannot beat with any other. I like having Camille in the woods with me too. That feeds something that I never even knew was empty until I started doing it. But yeah, I really like being alone. Oh, you got a bush buddy? Yeah. All right. Yeah, they're $100 US, eh? Does anyone know if the Bush Buddy is the stove that sort of had a Canadian connection somewhere? I seem to remember reading about a Bush something stove. It was like a round stove. And I kind of think that the Bush Buddy is the stove I'm thinking about, but I don't know if the stove I'm thinking about is the one that has the Canadian connection to it. Yeah, okay. Nate says that he has the same stove, and he set the titanium one up. The hand feel is edgier. I almost prefer the sort of heavy roundedness of the steel. I feel that titanium has an edgier feel to it, no matter how, like a snare drum versus a tenor drum kind of thing. That only makes sense if you're into music, I think. But yeah, I get what you're saying, and look, I'm a titanium skeptic. No, that's the wrong way to say it, because saying I'm a titanium skeptic sounds like I don't quite believe that titanium exists. But what I mean is, look, my philosophy of all this stuff comes as someone who does not work in a retail location where I can get good pricing, like insider pricing, whatever it's called, like I used to get when I worked in computer stores. And I'm not rich, and I'm not a full-time YouTuber, so I'm not like writing off. Well, I have no idea how to put the words together for what I'm trying to say, but money is an issue when I'm buying stuff, shall we say? And so I'm skeptical of the benefits, the cost-benefit analysis. Sorry, guys, I've been speaking French like all evening here. What I'm trying to say is that because I don't have a ton of folding cash to just throw at this stuff, the benefits that titanium brings are fundamentally not worth it in my case. I knew I would get it out if I just worked at it. God. Oh. And I just did that in front of 20 people. I just made an ass of myself in front of 20 people. Only 16 of which have hit the thumbs up, by the way. Hey, Russell.
I was really enjoying that.
Get it out.
He's going to get it out.
Oh, shit. Hold on. Let me put in my earbud.
Okay. While you're doing that, I'll just... Echo? Echo? Nice. Hike with Mike says, I made a homemade twig stove with a coffee can and a soup can on my 2-day camping trip in the Ocala National Forest. That was really cool to use twig stuff I made, and it worked well. The reason why some of these like the homemade ones are called hobo stoves is because that's what hobos did, right? They'd use a coffee can or a bean can or a Crisco. Well, that was probably too big. And a lot of us use that IKEA cutlery caddy. I mean, I have a cutlery caddy stove. It's fabulous. Like it's a terrific method for, boiling your coffee while you're riding freight trains around and being all hobo-ish. But it's also a really nice solution if you want a stove and you don't have a lot of money to throw at a twig stuff. The foldability is not there, right? But that cutlery caddy is a good size for, putting your tea towel in and stuff, blah, blah, blah. Or if you've got a small bean can one, look, they don't take up any space, right? Martin says, many twig stove manufacturers are small businesses. The firebox stoves are made by a guy in the U.S. Yeah. What's the name of the German one, Martin? Bush Buddy stove is made by some guy in Alaska. Same with the Bush Cooker stoves. It's the Chinese factories who make knockoffs that undercut those little guys. Yeah, and I try not to spend my money there. No way. Oh, I am so... apparently Joe Robinette swears by the Bush Buddy. Good to know. I'm trying to catch up here. Hey, Russell. You've had a day, haven't you?
I've had a day, all right.
Yeah.
I tell you what, I was thinking, Jess, it's been raining for 2 solid days here in Ontario. I don't know if it has been there as well, but
yeah, it has.
It was 4:30 p.m. today. I was out in the bush. I was soaking wet because I just broken up 3 beaver dams, and at some point I just took off my rain poncho because it was just getting in the way. So I was soaked from head to toe. And I started thinking, gee, I wonder if I could make a fire if this was a desperate situation. The obvious answer is no. I'd die, of course, but.
But the thing about the wood is all soaking wet, so you have to sort of carve down to the dry part on the inside. The issue with that is you have to keep that dry part from getting soaked as you carve down to it, right? So like you got to kind of get under your poncho or something.
Yeah.
Or you're just whittling wet wood all day.
Yeah.
And
I'm not sure I have much to add on this twig stove thing.
I'm just talking about it because I did an episode and I got a couple of comments that I found really, really interesting. You don't have a twig stove at all, eh?
I have an Esbit.
You have an Esbit.
That's funny because I came out. I was in the city. I'm cleaning out because we're moving. I was cleaning out the basement. I found an old stove that I bought. I'm not sure what fuel it takes, like butane or propane or tiny little, not like a Whisper Light, but similar to that sort of thing. I was going to bring it and show it to you.
Is it the
and then throw it out?
Is it the Primus or Primus or however they pronounce it?
I don't remember. It's probably cheap.
I like my Primus. It's a Swedish company, so I don't know if it's pronounced Primus or Primus. Right?
You got me. I think it'd be a neat video though if you took a can,
Mm-hmm.
like a larger can, like tomatoes or something, and made a stove out of it.
Yeah.
Get your tin snips out. And...
Yeah. Snip. Punch a bunch of holes. I need to get a church key. I had a really modern one, which is really cheaply made, and so every time I tried to punch holes in a can, it just bent. So I need to get.
Key.
Yeah,
Obviously, that's not a key to your local church.
No, on one side it comes to a point, so you can punch those little triangular holes into the top of a maple syrup can, and the other side it's round, so you can pop the lids off of bottles.
I didn't know that's what they were called.
I'm sure there's another term for them as well.
To me, it was always just a can opener or a. Yeah. Okay. So you need to get one of those.
I need to get one of those, but like a classic one, an antique one, because the new ones just aren't strong enough. Pine Martin is making a good point here that the twig stove is a much more efficient use of fuel. If I didn't just love having a nice big fire, then the twig stove would be all I'd ever need, really. Mark says that you pretty much have to carry a small stash of dry wood. Grace says, birch bark, magic stuff. I'm an old woman without a lot of strength, and I have to carry all my gear on my back. I try to be weight conscious, but sometimes the cost for the lightest weight gear is something I can't justify. Martin did say something to back, because I think he's very into titanium. My firebox now is also in titanium, by the way. My insulated mug and pots are titanium. I love the low weight, the durability, how fast they cool. That is an important point when you're trying to pack up your crap and you've just made your coffee for the road or your tea for the road. Russell, how often do you actually go into the woods overnight? Because you kind of live in the woods. So do you ever feel the need to go out, make a little shelter or pitch a tent?
Overnight? No. Just day trips. No, I live in a cabin in the middle of the woods. I don't see the point of camping.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I mean, I wonder how much of my love of camping comes to the fact that I don't live in a cabin in the woods.
You should try it sometime.
I should. I absolutely should. That's better.
That's better.
Yeah. Well, because this way you can. I guess you can't see the mess of my room. All right, we'll leave it like this.
Sit a bit closer. See, like this. Now you can see my whole cabin here.
Yeah.
And, well, I have a mess too. See how this up here? This is my wet coat, and here's my wet poncho. And you can see
your cabin's looking pretty damn good from the outside, though, man.
Ah. Right?
Huh? Yeah.
And then they're coming back tomorrow to work on that side of the yeah, that'll be cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice to see that all finished up. How much is left to do after that?
Well, quite a bit actually. So this side hasn't been done at all. This side has mostly been done, although they want to fix just the top row. And then they're going to do the fascia and the soffit as well. Really, I don't know, but the speed these guys they're pretty fast. Not crazy fast, but it's hard to say. Like a week or two, they'll probably be done.
Nice. It's gonna be so cool to have that done.
Yeah. And you know what? Okay, sidebar. I still get comments like this all the time. Somebody commented on that video where I was showing the side of the cabin being done. They're like, "Oh yeah, that stuff won't weather at all. It'll get all wet and it'll rot. So you should do cedar shakes. Do them shingle style." So my reply was like, "I'm sorry, you want me to take all of this off and go with cedar shakes now?" And his reply was, No, you just leave it like that. Just put the cedar right over top of it." Are you crazy? Like the time and cost. I get comments like that all the time. Like, I done all this work, spent all this money. Oh no, don't do that. Do this instead.
Like, shut up.
What?
Stop.
That's kind of like you doing a canoe video. I went down this river in a canoe and I went there and people come in and saying, "Oh no, don't go down there. Go down here. Go down this other river." Well,
I'm already home, guys. I'm already home.
Sorry for that sidebar.
No, it was a good sidebar. It's all right. It's a good segue. It stayed within the realm of what we're talking about. Like, you didn't.
Did it?
Say, yeah. Well, we're talking about woodsy stuff.
Okay.
Stuffy woods.
You would, yeah.
Wood. See? The siding is wood. I'm trying to help you here, man.
That's true.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been raining here for a couple of days too. I have a corner in my backyard. Anyone who's following my non-Raindance Bushcraft Facebook page will know that I have discovered an epic love of birds lately. My daughter and I put up, we built a little bird feeder and put it up, and we got a couple of birds. And then we got a couple of cardinals in the backyard. And so I was like, I want these guys to come back a lot. So we went to Canadian Tire and bought like this big red squirrel-proof feeder for birds like cardinals that don't eat from those little cups, but they need sort of more. And then, so it was great. We watched the cardinals and stuff. And then one day I looked at, because I've never seen bloody cardinals in my yard before. Then one day I look at, and there's the cardinals. And then suddenly there's two blue jays, which I've never seen in my yard, in my part of the town before either. Then I saw some chickadees. So I ran out and bought like a little suet feeder and a little like tube one, for sparrows and stuff. And I have this unused corner. It's not an unused corner, but it's hard to water, so it kind of died on us this summer. And I'd like to change that little corner into native plants. Not like native flowering. No, just whatever native plants. There are some native ferns. Just make it like a little corner of the nearest forest and see what kind of wildlife I can get coming into my yard at that point.
And you put a chair right in the middle.
Yeah, a Muskoka chair, because you got to be fancy about it.
Sure.
Because man, I see all these birds coming around, and I get so much stupid joy out of it that I want to see what else I can do, like crazy joy. Like I look out the window and a freaking cardinal sails in and lands, and I get all like giddy and dancing. Whoa, look what we got! And the missus is like, yes, it's a bird. But it's in our yard, and we don't get wildlife here because we're urban.
Jess, you need to get out in the bush, man.
Yeah, I know.
You walk outside and you're like, a twig. Oh, a twig right there.
This is a blade of grass right in front of me. This ain't no Kentucky bluegrass. This is native grass. Yeah.
Oh my god, you poor guy. I mean, we're sitting out here going, "Oh my god, the Blue Jays again." God, they're
Man, no, we never saw anything. One day, actually, I think, Jackie, she follows my Facebook. So the day before, I've been keeping track of all the birds we got. Using an app, and I showed Camille. I said, "Look, since we put in all these feeders, look at all these birds we've been getting." And here's the thing: one of those was a Cooper's hawk. We only saw it one day. And she said, "Yeah, but we need a special feeder to get the hawks to come back." And I said, "Kiddo, the other birds are the feeder that'll get the hawks to come back." And she said, "No, I mean, like, we need a trap for the squirrels." And I'm like, "That's my daughter, man. That's my kid." But yeah, so I've gone full on suburban white guy geek on these damn birds.
Unfortunately, bird season is just about over unless you really like blue jays and chickadees.
Well, I'm gonna keep putting out food over the winter, see what comes around. I don't know, like, do cardinals stick around or do they migrate?
I forget. I forget if cardinals are. Certainly blue jays don't migrate, but
they hang out.
About cardinals.
You
mostly get chickadees, especially if you put up suet balls.
Yeah, I put up suet. So far, there's only been one coming around, but I'm hoping that that's going to change. Because again, I didn't know any of these birds existed in West End Montreal. Didn't know any of them did. I was going to say we also got there's a bunch of dark-eyed juncos that hang around. Pretty as hell. I hope they're not migratory. Yeah, David is talking about they have weight-sensitive bird feeders. Yeah, us too. The squirrels are still making a hash of them. I keep trying to come up with a way to keep the squirrels away. Then I keep failing. But I will find something. The thing is, in Montreal, and maybe in all of Quebec, it's crazy illegal to trap or even touch squirrels. So I can't just trap them and dump them on the South Shore or something. Like I can't do anything except deterrence. Martin says that the cardinals are non-migratory. That's good because it means I can keep them around by feeding them. I love it. I love seeing them out there. I love watching them happily eat from my feeders. Definitely not the cheapest thing I've ever done, but totally worth it. Yeah, I hope to see some robins, Tenenbaum. I hope to see them. Yeah, Sharon, the squirrels just, I'm feeding and they're just waiting. And I'm like, go away. Damn it, it's for the birds.
You love it when you get a blue jay in there just scooping the seeds out of the way, trying to get to the sunflower seeds, just shoving them out. Yeah. Damn it. Don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But, anyway, if I can get any kind of wildlife in my backyard, I'm going to call that a win. I have this sort of, I think I've mentioned this once before on the live stream that, you look at the wildlife that we're used to seeing in the city, right? Like pigeons, skunks, whatever the hell the raton laveur are, the ones with the black eyes and the ringtails.
Raccoons.
That's the one. Raccoons. So like we hate the animals that have learned to live in the dumpster fire that we create from the environment. And like I've been fighting with a skunk for months now. I've been putting down nematodes to get rid of the grubs in the lawn and everything. I don't want that guy around because it's he makes my yard stink at night. And like there's a family of raccoons around here, and I'm just constantly having to pick up my damn garbage and stuff. I finally went and got a huge garbage bin and stuff. But these animals have learned to not disappear because we've dropped a city here. Do you know what I'm saying? They've learned to live with they've learned to live in the urban environment that we've created, and the urban environment that we've created is terrible. And so, for all that resourcefulness, we decide we hate pigeons; they're dirty. We decide we hate squirrel. Squirrels, raccoons because they're dirty. We decide we hate all these animals because they're dirty. You know. So when I see all these birds that I didn't know were anywhere around here, it's nice to have a different take on the wildlife that is around my house. Hold on a second. There's a bunch of cardinals are non-migratory, which is good. Jackie loves Cody's idea about the squirrel trap. I haven't seen any mourning doves around here, but I'm just going to keep... Wait, you have wild parrots? Oh, you're in California. There's probably all kinds of crazy stuff out there. Fox, it says... Cliff says, you need to get one of those super high-powered water guns and then blast the squirrel when you see it. I would love that. I have thought about that. Absolutely. David has a fox hanging around. Yeah, I wish I had a fox hanging around because that would definitely cure my squirrel problem and probably wouldn't do too much damage to the birds. Martin Cotton moved 3 skunks from your backyard. Have since learned I wasn't allowed to do it. Yeah, well, you didn't get caught, so I'm not going to tell anyone. And, I wonder about... Yeah. Ian says, what? Do what? I saw nothing. I often wonder, part of me kind of wants to go back to school, get my master's, in some way to put my film degree and my interest in the outdoors together. I'm not going to... I probably won't do it. I mean, there's no time, and I have so many things to do it on that I don't know if I could just hone in on one. And then, of course, there's the fact that it's really expensive to go to school, and I'm going to be 50 next year. So I don't want to spend, my twilight years paying off a student loan. But one thing that interests me, and that has probably already been studied, but urban wildlife is interesting to me because I wonder if a squirrel that lives in the city has to be more resilient and resourceful than one that lives out in the boreal, or if it's the other way around.
I think it's the other way around. In fact,
You do,
I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it because I used to live in the city and I saw the number of squirrels that are around, and rabbits for that matter. Walking around. Yeah. I was probably in a more suburban area than you live in. Maybe, I'm not sure, but I go for a walk every morning with my dog, and I'd see 20 rabbits, even more squirrels. I know that I live out in the wilderness. I hardly ever see squirrels or rabbits. I see chipmunks. They had chipmunk, but squirrels, rabbits, heck no. It must be far easier to live in the city.
Interesting.
If you're predators, right? Essentially.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're you see, here's the thing. I was thinking about house cats, right? But yeah, you're right. There may not be any house cats out in the woods, but there's coyotes, there's hawks. I wish that Cooper's hawk had stayed, gotten rid of my squirrel problem. So yeah, I guess you're right. I love what Jackie says. Walk around the neighborhood wildlife VR challenge. I'm not set up for VR, but that's not a bad idea, actually. Do a photo challenge. Set it up on my Facebook page or something. I don't know. Have a prize to give away. I don't want to paint myself into a corner here, but I think that's a great idea.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, Russell walking around his neighborhood is like, oh, there's a moose again. But around here is...
Honestly, I don't see a lot of large animals, actually. No? Mostly on the trail cam.
Martin's agreeing with you. I think predatory pressures are much more intense in the wilderness, but in the cities, the critters have to worry about cars. Domestic cats kill huge numbers of birds. Yeah, they sure do. They really, really do. In fact, in Montreal, a previous administration had passed a law whereby the cats had to be essentially kept indoors. When I had cats, they were indoor cats anyway. Well, the last 2 cats I had were essentially indoor cats, and they didn't seem to suffer for it. I kept them inside originally because I lived on the second floor of a block of flats, but they tend not to, like, there's a bunch of sicknesses that they don't tend to get if they're indoor cats. And I didn't feel guilty about decimating the neighborhood bird population that way. Hold on a second. What do you think about what David's saying here? That maybe it's because of your dogs that the squirrels don't hang?
Certainly the dogs keep away a lot of wildlife here, but no, anywhere I go around here, David, anywhere on the property or adjacent properties, I have not seen a lot of squirrels. Certainly, there are 0 black squirrels out here. There are 0 gray squirrels. I see the odd, very small red squirrel, almost the size of a chipmunk, but yeah, very few anywhere I've gone. So it's not just the dogs. Coyotes are everywhere out here. There's hundreds of them. So
yeah,
that's the thing.
Around here, it's all gray squirrels. I saw a black squirrel relatively recently, but they're rare. They are way out competed by the grays.
That's funny because in where we were in the city, the black squirrels were invasive. I saw them, like I watched them all, like every morning I was out walking and I watched them. They would gang up on other squirrels, other squirrels of other colors.
Really?
And if somebody had a problem with squirrels in their attic, it was always the black squirrels.
Really?
And they're huge. No kidding that they didn't have any problems with cats because black squirrels half the size of a cat.
That is fascinating because around here the black squirrels are tiny little buggers.
That is fascinating.
They do not stand a chance against the gray squirrels.
So it's the opposite.
Yeah.
But
very
I've never seen any other squirrel gang up on other squirrels like the black ones did.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, good on them.
Good on them.
Good on them for giving those gray squirrels the what for. Getting on. I'm gonna take you out.
Good on them.
I like it. Our last cat was a real hunter. She would bring home mice, chipmunks, small rabbits, and putting bells on the cat made no difference. Wow. That cat was a true homicidal maniac. Yes, I know. They're not. Yeah. Everyone out there, I know.
Yeah, so our dog Willow, who's a German Shepherd, she got a muskrat today. It's on the ATV trail on the ride in, and there was just one lying right in the middle of the trail. And it waited until we were like 20 feet from it and it said, okay, I guess I'll get up and swim in this little puddle on the trail. And that was it. Willow caught it and that was it. Willow kept going.
That was all?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, once and then dropped it and then again dropped it and that was it. And we kept going.
Wow. I like what Shawnee says here. I watched a black squirrel hit a gray squirrel right out of the tree. Really? This is like, because around here, man, black squirrels are small. And if like 2 or 3 gray squirrels see a black squirrel, it's done for, man. It's finished. Tenenbaum says melanistic squirrels are more common in Toronto, same species as the gray, eastern gray squirrel. It's weird.
Is that just trivia that you knew, Tenenbaum?
Man, he knows all the trivia. He knows everything. It's crazy.
I am his opposite then. I'm so bad at trivia. I know nothing. I'm the Schultz of the modern world. I know nothing. Nothing.
Tenenbaum says the red squirrel is indeed smaller and has a more northern range. Eastern gray is a Carolinian forest species. Red squirrels, I think, are more sort of boreal, right? I think the only time I've ever seen a red squirrel, I was in the boreal. In fact, I don't even know if I've seen a red squirrel here. Are they mostly European?
I've certainly seen them out here, but as I said, they're tiny.
Yeah, small. Yeah.
And chipmunks. Let's talk about chipmunks for a second. Boy, are they stupid.
Are
I've
they?
seen Willow and Junebug chase a chipmunk up a tree where it should be safe, and it runs around the tree a couple of times, and then runs straight down the tree and tries to run between them. And you should see Willow when she's going after a chipmunk on the ground. She's so aggressive.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, "You're done, man. You're done, chipmunk. You shouldn't have come back down. You're done."
Yeah. Why the hell would it come back down the tree?
I know, it was completely safe.
Weird.
They're not very
All
bright.
right. Evidently not. Poor little stupids. There's a European red squirrel with weird wisps of hair behind the ears. Yeah, but that's not the same as. Okay, there is a North American red squirrel. Looks like a chipmunk with a fluffy tail. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So that is what I've been seeing. Yeah, but I've only ever seen those out sort of around here, up in the boreal. I wonder, like, first yawn of the night. I'm not very happy with myself. It's not quite 10 o'clock yet. Damn
That
it,
was not
Jess.
your first yawn. That was not.
Was it? It wasn't?
No.
Moving right along. Like, I
Not that
wonder.
I'm counting. I'm not counting.
Of course not. No. I wonder how many species would not have naturally been up in the boreal if we hadn't constructed, on every piece of land south of the boreal. Like, is the red squirrel that I've only ever seen in the boreal, is it technically a temperate forest or a mixed parklander? What the hell is the forest around Montreal called? Mixed broadleaf? Like, would it be a mixed broadleaf species if there weren't cities all over that sort of area? I mean, I'm not expecting Russell or anyone here to know that.
I was going to say, well, let me tell you my thoughts on the issue. Can you do this?
No, but I can do this.
Oh, I can do that too. Oh,
Can you?
You're really good at that, though. Actually, you're really good. You got to do that. You got to sing the song. Oh, shit! I screwed it up.
Did you screw that up?
With the song. Oh, and then there's this one too.
I didn't know there was a song.
Well, it's different every time. You gotta, it comes from the heart. The music comes from the heart.
Absolutely. Tim says they have fruit squirrels. What the hell's a fruit squirrel? I mean, we have gray squirrels, but they eat the fruit. They travel either on top of the wires or fenced to eat the fruits that people grow here.
That's pretty common for squirrels everywhere, right? They run on top of them.
Jackie says we have red squirrels here, more so a little north. They're evil aligned. Are they chaotic evil or lawful? I don't believe I just said that. I have not seen a flying squirrel. Where do they live? Squirrels of flyingness.
Oh, we have flying squirrels around here. I saw. I didn't know that. I was surprised one night because, it was awesome. It was nighttime, just like this, and Willow and Junebug were outside, and I heard Willow barking. So I walked out in the deck, and I turned on the light, walked out in the deck, and I see this thing go in front of me. Like, what the f was that? And I see a squirrel climb up the tree and then stop on a branch.
Really?
And
everyone say good night to Nate, by the way.
Good night, Nate. And I took a picture of it. I looked it up. I was like, holy cow, it was this flying squirrel.
Wow. Hey, Fab Online LLC in the house. Just
Hey, Fab.
checking in. We have red, gray, and black squirrels. Tenenbaum says you can find sugar gliders, flying squirrels, anywhere in the Carolinian forest. Is the forest around Montreal Carolinian, or is that sort of more? Well, actually, is that around where Russell lives then?
I don't know what the Carolinian forest is. In fact,
Good night,
pretty much
Nate.
anything Tenenbaum says is
News to you. Actually, I love the way Nate walks out of the room. We have tons of flying squirrels around here. They're nocturnal, super cool. I am not nocturnal. Good night. So that would explain why you saw it at night.
I guess so.
Hey, Tyler.
Hey,
Tyler's
Tyler.
enjoying some tea. He'll be in and out. Let's stick around for the view time, though. Thanks a lot, mister. If you just hit that thumbs up, then you and we are square. Western Ontario has more Carolinian forest, I believe. I don't know what Carolinian actually is compared to... I believe that the forest in the Montreal region is called mixed broadleaf. I don't know how that... You know what? I got to learn this.
Me too.
I got to learn this.
I can tell you what my forest is. I can tell you what the trees are in my forest, but I don't know what I don't know how to classify it.
Yeah, you're not north enough to be boreal, right?
I don't know what a boreal forest is.
Boreal forest is the most fantastic, fabulous. I'm not going to
that's what I have then.
wax poetic about it, but
that's what I have then. Yeah, it's fantastic. Right.
Are you in sort of central? Is there a central Ontario, or is it just southern Ontario and northern Ontario?
I call it Eastern Ontario.
Eastern Ontario? But you're not like in the vicinity of Ottawa, right? You're a little further north than that, aren't you?
I'm like 2 hours west of Ottawa. Maybe even a little bit south. Hold on. Boreal is essentially spruce, pine, birch. If you're seeing other hardwoods, isn't buttons, that is Carolina. Yeah, we see a lot of... there's a pretty good mix of hardwood and softwood here, Tenenbaum. Certainly, and most of the hardwood is... Like 80% of the hardwood is maple. There's also oak.
Carolinian
it's somewhere 50-50. Somewhere 50-50 between softwood and hardwood here. So a lot of pine. A lot of softwood is pine, spruce.
Well, it says here that that Carolinian Canada, the Carolinian forest, I'm on Wikipedia, but is located at the southern tip of Ontario between Lake Erie, Lake Huron, and Lake Ontario. So that's too south for you, right? But it does have flying squirrels.
We have a lot of hardwoods here. There's probably more hardwoods on the property than softwoods. And 80% of the hardwoods are maples. So how do you classify that, Tenenbaum? But I don't know. My property may not be indicative of anything else around here. This is also the Canadian Shield, so there's a lot of rock.
Yeah. Eastern Ontario model forest. What is that? Okay, that's an actual model forest. Okay. 1.5 million hectares. Hardwoods, softwoods, urban and rural communities, agricultural and aboriginal lands, numerous watersheds. What does that mean?
In the comments, I'm like, where?
Well, yeah, because my viewers are they're a step above. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, classy.
Jackie says the grand black squirrels in our backyard seem like a family, a little dysfunctional and squabbly, and only one death in the past couple of years. Yeah, so Tim walks in with, I've been seeing bat rays in the ocean. Those are cool. Oh. That's definitely not the kind of wildlife I see around here.
Oh, you know what? Can I zoom in on that? Where I live on the map that Tenenbaum just put up. That's very interesting, actually, because I'm right on the edge between the... Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's really hard to tell, but I'm right on the edge between the Carolinian and the darker green. What is that? Forest de Grande Lac de Saint Laurent? Is that the color?
No,
I'm bad
that's
with
me.
colors.
Yeah, that's where I live in. Forêt des Grands Lacs et du Saint Laurent. This is. Are you seeing this in
What does
English or
that mean?
French? Because I'm getting it in French here.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm seeing.
Forêt
It's the same
Carolinienne
picture.
is below. But do you have it in English? No, it's in French. Okay.
No.
I was getting weirded out. Tenenbaum is playing with us all here.
See, I'm right on the edge of Carolinian and
Yeah.
what is the other one you were saying? Well, like, what does that mean?
Forêt des Grands Lacs et du Saint Laurent. It's the Great Lakes and the St. Lawrence Basin. Hey, Austin's
Okay.
Corner. How's it going?
Hey, Simon.
If you look at that map,
Austin?
as Tenenbaum says, the limit of true Carolinian is down in southern Ontario. You can see Boreal in the north, which is my favorite. Wow. You know, it's funny because what is northern Ontario and northern Quebec is not like it doesn't start that far north. But
Northern Ontario is freaking huge.
It's
just like
everything, you know? Yeah.
Like, we talk about Southern Ontario, but we're not really talking about Southern Ontario. We're talking about
It's like it's crazy how far south northern Ontario starts.
all of populated Ontario is Southern Ontario.
It's southern Ontario, yeah, exactly. Hey, Simon's here too.
Not
Salut,
literally.
monsieur. What? Yeah, but still.
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir. Interesting map.
Interesting.
I just got to figure out what the hell Forêt des Grands Lacs et du Saint Laurent is in English, because I feel that Great Lakes and St. Lawrence Forest.
Save that one.
It doesn't like that. Sounds more like a geographical appellation than a scientific one. I don't know if I'm making any sense here. It looks to me like Jackie's on her way out. Says bonne nuit. Good night, Jackie. See you next time, maybe.
Good night. Wait,
How's it going,
Bambouille?
Austin?
Bambouille, is that a thing or just a typo?
No, it's just a typo. It is a typo.
Bonne nuit.
Bonne nuit.
Bonne nuit.
Yeah, to get to the Boreal, it's a good 5 or 6 hour drive from where I live, you know. So looks like it's probably about the same for you.
So,
Ish.
if you're,
What do you think?
what is it? Did we figure it was a 14-hour drive for you to come here?
But no, it's not that heavy. There's no way. If you're like 2 hours west of Ottawa, then you're like a 6 hour drive for me, I think, or 5.
Oh, was it? Oh, I'm thinking of something else then. Yeah, right. It was. I think it was 6 or 7 hours.
Yeah,
Anyway, you should come if you're gonna drive 5 hours north. Then just come here.
that's what I'll do. I'll try to. One day in
I
2022.
can show you the world. Something raspberry rock. You'll enjoy it. You'll pee in beaver ponds until you fall.
Such a weirdo.
I can show you the rock.
All right. Good night, Jackie. See you later. It's funny.
That was gone.
Jackie's
That was
out.
gone well. That was good.
Nate's out. Yeah, I think we scared Jackie away. We scared Nate away. All right, Russell's going to see a man about a hearse. 5 hours from Jess to Russell. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I should go and hit up that little off-grid cabin. Yeah, that would be good. I should do that. People are saying bye to Jackie. I dropped the link in the side chat there. Oh, I thought I did. Yes, I did. Just in case, maybe Austin, if you want to come on, or someone wants to come on and chit chat about their local forest.
Just can you find 4 days, like a 4-day weekend? 2 travel days and
Yeah,
2
maybe.
full days.
Maybe. It's complicated. It's complicated that I'm not going to talk about online, but I am highly motivated.
Well, you got an open invitation.
Yeah. Make some episodes.
September, October. That's your time frame that you want to aim for. I mean, you can come anytime, but September, October.
But that's when, yeah,
the best time.
Yeah, I'm gonna. That would be. I could probably plan for that since it's a year away. You can probably make the case. Tim says the Sioux is one of his favorite places. A neat town, both sides, from what I remember. Because there's an American one and a Canadian one, right? He's talking about Sault Ste. Marie.
Both sides. Both sides. I don't know. Martin
is asking, Jess or anyone know good videos or channels featuring beginning wood carving projects for hand tools? It's funny that you asked that because I've done videos like that, but I would not suggest them because they're no good. I did one spoon carving video 2-ish years ago, specifically for Paul Bakima. But I've seen a lot of really good videos, and I will find you at least one suggestion. I'm looking at the wrong camera. I'm looking at this stupid thing. I will find you at least one suggestion fairly quickly, Frisco. Maybe by tomorrow. But yeah, there's some great stuff out there.
Martin, have you seen any of Doug Linkler stuff? Is it Doug Linker or Doug Linkler?
Linker? Doug Linker? Yeah, he used to be what was his channel called before?
Doug Linkler.
He had a different name before.
He does a lot of carving.
He does a lot of carving. He doesn't do a lot of spoons. He does like little men, like little figures.
But he does a lot of videos on here are my tools and here's what I use to carve and it's into
some very good stuff. Yeah. I'm thinking, Martin, do you know Zed Outdoors? Aside from the fact that he's an absolute stand-up, terrific guy, a lot of his videos are where he interviews people who are carvers and stuff, or has them describe how to do certain things. So I'm going to drop a link to his channel because you're going to find what you're looking for on his channel. He's got terrific hustle, and he's doing videos with some Russell's going to hate this, seminal UK spoon carvers and bowl carvers. So I'm just going to drop that. So if you hit the right mouse button and open that in another tab, you're going to find some stuff that you're going to find very interesting. In fact, I see
such a long drive. Sorry.
I've seen Doug's videos, but his stuff is mostly little figures. Yeah.
Okay. I figured Martin had seen Doug's videos. I thought I'd bring it up anyway.
Yeah. Well, what I like about Doug more than the actual carving is I like his on-screen presence. He's got a real sort of Zen thing happening that I like.
Yeah, he's a good-looking guy for sure.
He's got a cool presence online. I mean, you guys who live in the forest just don't seem to stress as much as those of us who live in the city do. I just love that. Like, yeah, so the wind blew the roof off the house. Oh, we'll fix it. We got the skills. Tornado came through, tore up a bunch of trees. Hey, firewood. City guys are like, I'm going to kill the neighbors. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like so funny different.
It's everything about city life, right? It's the fast-paced shit. Like everything drives you crazy, right?
Yeah. Yes, Pine Martin, you're right. It used to be called Dug Outside. I think you're right. I think that's what it was. Had a cool logo
how
and
you
everything.
tell? Actually, you know how you tell? You go to Social Blade and put in his channel, and then it comes up. It'll show you what the original name was.
Really?
Yes, sure. Hold on, I'll do it right now. Doug Linker. Doug outside. Yeah, it'll show
Doug
you in the
outside?
URL.
Okay. Yeah.
There you go. There it went.
Yeah, Martin, I've never carved a duck either. I think he's talking about like those wooden ducks. Austin,
I'd love to be able to carve. Hey, Austin.
Hey, how are you guys?
all is well. What you doing? What
Good.
you working on?
I am taking paint off of an old tin whistle that I got. And I tried painting it and I didn't like the paint job, so I'm gonna try something else. But just been spending lots of time down here and working on projects and kind of been trying to keep a backlog of things as I come into the winter months of things to do, and been enjoying all kinds of things. I just finished my wrapping the leather on or not wrapping, but stacking the leather on my granddad's old
Estwing.
Estwing hammer. Yeah,
I saw that on
I'll
your
show you
Instagram.
that.
I thought you were gonna say corpse, but yeah.
Yeah, so I just finished
Yeah.
shellacking
Nice.
the handle on this, and so I think
Beautiful.
that'll
Yeah,
turn out pretty cool.
I love it. I love it.
And yeah, I got a couple other projects. Been working a lot. So the topic of conversation was the local woods. I hear.
We've been meandering because I totally forgot what I wanted to talk about tonight. I started talking about like twig stoves because I put up a recent twig stove review and I got some really interesting comments. And then
It
we
was
started.
which was the one you put up? I saw the video, but I haven't watched it.
It's
Or I saw
it's
the
called
post.
Kid Products.
Okay.
It's KHID. I think it's named. It's the initials of the four guys who build them.
Okay. Yeah, we as far as our local woods here, we have a really cool place about 2 minutes car drive from here called the Kickapoo Valley Reserve. And I just started, there's a local now retired high school teacher that has written a huge book. It's like, it's huge because this town is 750 people.
Okay.
And it's a pretty small, for the amount of detail and history that he has is really neat. But the long and short of the story is this area suffers from a lot of flooding along the Kickapoo River Valley.
Okay.
And in the 30s, there was a big push to get a dam put through. Well, from the 1930s into the early 70s, there were kind of these highs and lows of this project by the Army Corps of Engineers to build a dam here and to create like a recreational lake to kind of help with the flooding and then also hopefully to bring some tourism to this area. Well, the long and short of it is that the dam never came to be, and the land that was acquired by the state to build the dam is now been turned into a big preserve.
Okay.
And it's like over 1,000 acres.
All right.
So that's where we go quite a lot. I walk my dog there every morning.
Nice.
So
Hey, Austin, are you watching on your phone right now? Or
no, I'm. Are you hearing an echo of some sort?
no? I'm just curious what kind of device you're using.
I am using my cell phone. I'm on my LG Wing smartphone.
Because I was wondering if you could pick it up and show us your shop a little bit.
Yeah, I can. Let me see. How can I flip the camera around?
Can you turn it sideways too?
It'll get all wonky, I think. Are
Okay.
you seeing?
Yes, that's it. That's good.
All right. So yeah,
Can you
it's
make
quite
this
the
full
mess,
screen
but-
there, Jess?
Yeah. Boom.
Is this
So
Austin? Is this your
There.
basement?
yeah, this is my basement. So this is my mini
Ooh.
bike workshop. So
Cool.
this is a 19
Wow.
196 what year is this? It's a 60 or 61 Cushman. I got it going and then the fuel line started leaking, but I got a bunch of other stuff to finish up on it this winter. This here is a 1970 something. I think it's a Scat Cat, but I bought the frame. It's just a roller frame, but I'm going to get it going later this. I'm going to have the frame powder coated and I bought it for 35 bucks. So I'm going to get it going. And then this is the mini bike of a gal that I work with. Her son took quite a digger on it, so I'm getting it going. And then just some
Those are cool.
benchtop tools back there that I got for free that have been kind of nice. My belt sander, and then this is my work bench over here that's has all kinds of rotating projects and kind of a mess, but a little bookshelf and a toolbox that I've been kind of piecing together. So a little pegboard wall of tools. So
I see an axe.
yeah, I have, there's three here. There's the Grunts
forest
First Brooks. Yeah. This is a tomahawk I picked up at a flea market somewhere long ago. And then this is the Husqvarna. I don't know what the size is, but it's their kind of branded, I think, poor man's Grunts First Brooks.
Yeah, it's their version of the forest axe, I think.
Yeah, so
yeah,
got those. And yeah, I've been, believe it or not, I've been spending a lot less time on YouTube and social media, and I've been trying to. I was kind of getting discontented with. Are you guys seeing me? Oh no,
you're frozen, but we can still hear you. Oh,
Oops.
You'll be back. You'll be back.
He was saying he's not spending so much time on social media, probably working on projects, which we should all probably do. Good for him.
Absolutely. I've got so many projects sort of stacked up in that back room there that I just haven't been able to get on. And I would love to. I can really only do it on. I can only work weekends. So if if I lose to family stuff, like birthdays or whatever, then nothing gets done. Hey, Austin.
Hey, sorry. When I switched cameras around, it didn't like it. So,
just to what you were saying, I've got all these little project bags. All these little home hardware project bags. That was a project I meant to do.
But you're going to build yourself a workshop, right, Russell?
Yes.
Austin, what you miss is that I was saying how important it is to have a little workshop, and so that you can get some stuff done and having the time, because I've got a workshop, but all I've got is a pile of undone projects.
Yeah, that's since COVID has kind of come around, I've I guess hopefully gone on its way anyway. The one thing that I've seen my dad do for the last 40 years is and my grandfather too, is lots of unfinished projects. And so I keep a running tally of things, and I don't typically try and keep a long running log of things, but I kind of like to try and it's kind of cathartic to finish stuff, you know, to keep a notebook and what's done and what's
I
coming
get
up.
it.
So,
Which is probably what
yeah.
I have to do. I have to do something like that. Guys, I'm going to mute myself and I'll be right back, okay? I have to see a man
Sure.
about a horse.
So, Austin, what do you do for a living?
I work in the dairy business. I'm a dairy production planner here in Wisconsin. So,
what does that mean?
I work for a big organic dairy company, and we co-process with all kinds of other different producers across the country. So I figure out how much of what's going to get made when and where, and then we send our products all over the place. So
you also work with the farmers that send milk to you? Is that how that works?
That is not a part of my specific workflow, but we have a whole department of people. We're also the largest organic co-op in the country. So we have a huge department of people that work in communicating with farmers, and it's pretty cool. We've got like the largest like membership. It's like over 1,000 farmer members. So and you?
Me?
Are you
I make YouTube
a professional
videos.
homeowner?
I'm a professional cabin owner. I make YouTube videos. But no, I worked on a farm when I was a teenager for a couple of summers, and while it was a brutal experience, it was also an incredibly valuable experience. Like it was a dairy and hog farm, and I always wondered what was going on up the chain, you know.
Yeah, I would have not had an interest working for this company had I not. I milked dairy cows in college, and it was really flexible schedule for me in class at the time, and I had it was pretty decent money too. So, but
I'll tell you what, Austin. Back when I was working that job, I got paid $5 a day.
Trial for
wow.
Sure. Yeah, but I also lived there and ate all their food. So
whose food did you eat?
Well, that's worth something, right?
And then what's funny, because I left them and then I got a job at a much closer farm and they paid me $5 an hour, but I didn't live there and eat their food.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I'm actually heading back to school in the spring. I'm gonna actually be stepping back in a lot closer to the operations side. So I'm hoping to be working at a butter production facility. So, and I'm going to be going back to school to do industrial like automation maintenance. So kind of getting tired. I joked with my supervisor. I said, every day that I sit at my desk, I'm one career-ending email away from losing my job. So
you're not alone there.
But
no, you definitely are not.
Oh my God.
But yeah, automation is a great field.
Yeah.
I just want to catch up on the side chat. Austin, Tim is asking where you are in Wisconsin. I don't think he means your actual address. I think he means sort of generally.
Sure. Yes, sure. So I live in a little town called Lafarge. We are about an hour east of La Crosse in what's called the Driftless Region. So it's called that because it was when North America was covered in a big glacier, it was one of the unglaciated areas.
Okay.
So it looks like Vietnam here with it looks like kinds of rolling hills and valleys.
Okay. Because it didn't get scraped clean by the...
Correct.
Wow. Okay.
So it's a region in southwest Wisconsin, southeast Minnesota, and kind of the corners of Illinois and Iowa.
It's called the Driftless Region.
Correct. Yeah.
Huh.
You'll see like there's a lot of different like food companies. And interestingly, as far as Wisconsin goes, this is one of the largest areas for organic farming in the United States is the Driftless. So
Interesting.
I was telling Russ that that's where I work in the organic dairy business. So
Okay. I just want to point out, Canadian says, busy evening today, but I wanted to stop, click and wave, show a little support before I fall down, go to sleep and land. So, Canadian, if you are still here, hi and bye. Good night.
Hey, Jerry.
hey, what's that guy that's always got a great deal on something? He's a legend for
Peter Griffin?
no on your live stream. He always comes up and says, "I got a something or another for a hell of a deal."
Oh, yeah. Outdoor Dauber.
LT?
Yeah,
I'm not LT. I mean, LT buys like affordable knives, but Outdoor Dauber, man, that guy, he'll be like, "Oh, I got this Hudson's Bay blanket for 50 cents at a garage sale." And I'll be like, "Oh, holy crap, Austin, we're nice."
so I
is
found
beautiful.
this out antiquing, and this is a Fairhand West 275 baby.
Which, by the way,
And-
is exactly what I've been trying to buy, but the shipping just kills it every time.
Well, so here's the cool thing about this. It has a sticker on it still.
Nice.
I don't know, but it's made in West Germany.
Yeah. It's the Feuerhound.
So
Oh,
yeah. So it's pre 19 what was it? 89, 91, 90, 89.
Damn it,
And
Austin.
So-
how much did you pay for it?
Don't
$14.
ask. I said don't ask.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
You know,
So-
Austin, those Feuerhand babies, like I've been trying to buy one for years, and it's like great price, $35 US or whatever, and then I'm like, woo, shipping, $37 US, and I'm like, wow, that's a lot of freaking cash.
Yeah, it is.
Good night, David.
Well, yeah, I've been looking around at. There's a guy that I've been watching a lot of since I've been kind of doing tool restoration stuff, and his name is Scout Crafter.
Scout Crafter,
Great.
okay.
A great channel, and he posts weekly, and God, like I just like feel bad for his family or friends whenever this guy passes, because he just has a house just jammed to the gills with like flea marketing like tools, but he makes great videos. But anyway, I've started scouring eBay for things, and there's a British tool company that I was looking at, and it's the same thing. Like, you find an old adjustable wrench, and it's $12, and it's $24 shipping or something
Shipping, yeah.
crazy. So
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, that takes it from a really good price to kind of a really not good price, right?
right, yeah, I like to go antiquing when I get a chance, but even then, you know, it used to be that you can pick like any day of the week you can go out and find a decent deal on something, but there's a difference between someone who's an antique dealer and an antique collector who's trying to sell their collection.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. I went somewhere this last weekend, and I just like was looking through all these cabinets of things that were hundreds of dollars. And I'm like,
well, I think it's because now I think that the era of walking into an antique store or a flea market and getting a wicked deal is almost over, because these days, a guy gets something in and immediately looks it up on eBay,
True.
knows what he can get for it, and prices accordingly. I just want to say hi to SV Raven Flintlock, who just got out of work and is listening in during the commute home. And that's what I think is happening, because I find it the same thing with axe heads, right? There are a couple of like unicorn axe heads that I want to get and do videos of restoring, but the era of like finding a $5 head with phantom bevels that isn't destroyed and painted over, it feels like it's over, you know?
Mm-hmm. I think at some point I think what's even more depressing is that like the era of desirable antique things is going to end. Like, think of how many things are around in present day that
I see what you're saying. Yes.
That in the future people will be like, wow, this is cool. Check out this old whatever it is. Like, all we have is like like I have this
Apple iPhone 12.
Like, where is this that I just recently got? This. I'm gonna both of these things. This is an old carbide lantern for a miner's lamp. Like,
nice.
That I'm gonna get going this winter, and this is an old
box
tool.
Yeah, crate tool.
Yeah, and like, not like nobody's gonna pick up like a set of plastic wrenches to put together IKEA furniture and be like, wow, these are collectible.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I shouldn't say that because there will probably be someone somewhere that collects IKEA hardware.
There will be,
tools.
because I mean, bear in mind there are people who collect first generation Star Wars figures, right?
Yeah.
But I think what you're saying is at the era of, and I sort of say this a lot when I talk about how, back in the 50s and the 40s, and I'm just pulling eras out of the ether here, making a well-made axe wasn't a well-made axe. It was just an axe.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Today, not the same story.
No.
And that is true across the board for tools, I feel, and many things that are now being made of plastic, and everything is sort of designed to be digestible or when you throw it in the garbage, whatever it's called,
disposable.
Everything's digestible, everything's disposable, everything, everything's a Mora knife now.
Yeah.
And that changes it. That changes the whole story.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, it means though that there are less things that will be aging into antiquedom, right?
Right. Correct.
But
I think something too that kind of coincides with that is that the everyday Joe or Jane's ability to discern quality has absolutely tanked.
Disappeared, yeah.
I feel like, most working class people, even 40 years ago, would have been able to walk into a Sears or Canadian Tire and see the tools on the shelf and say, oh, this is the better option and the better use of my money.
But there's a quid pro quo there, right? I just used the wrong term, but even the less good item was pretty freaking good compared to what you'd find at Canadian Tire.
Oh, for sure, yeah, for sure. Yeah, the
good night, Simon.
I should open up.
Bonsoir, monsieur. I do want to say, like, Russell, around where you live, because I don't know, Austin, where you live, but where I live in Montreal, it's garbage for antiquing to find tools or flea marketing to find tools. But I do find that if I get out into the rural areas, it does sort of get a little better. But like Russell, you are straight up rural. Like in your nearest town, is there any hope at finding some cool stuff?
There is actually a shop in Tweed that sells a bunch of old stuff, like, and really interesting old stuff too. Like I found it and I walked around the shop in awe for an hour, going, "Holy crap! Oh wow! Holy crap!
Yeah.
Look at that! Wow! Holy
Yeah.
crap!" It's like all this old stuff. It was amazing, and I need to go back there.
And that's the kind of thing that we don't have here. But Austin, around where you live, I mean, you go antiquing, so you must be able to find certain things.
It's gotta be it's gotta be like yard sales though, right? That you find the good stuff.
So here in the Midwest, anyway, one of the things that's really common in a town maybe of 20,000 or more is an antique mall, and they own the building, and then they rent stalls to vendors.
Yeah.
And vendors can stock their little stalls jam-packed full of things.
Yeah.
And yeah, so sometimes those are really awesome, and then sometimes they're total miss. But that's probably the most common kind, at least what I'll hit up, because I just don't have the time to go in the middle of a work week, and go yard sailing.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a unique kind of seller that's like a volume seller, where they're really not interested in doing the whole eBay thing.
Yeah.
They're interested in moving the most amount of stuff to get the most amount of, keep moving items through.
Yep.
And those are the really, like, there's a couple that I know of that I go back to find really decent deals on things.
But like, that's still in many ways just a glorified flea market, right? I mean, we have flea markets.
Yeah.
Here that
Oh,
are
for sure.
Very similar.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a flea market where no one has to be there.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Exactly. Yeah.
But the other thing for me too with antiques is I rarely buy things that I don't use.
Yeah.
Like what my phone is leaning against is I have this arbor it's an old Craftsman arbor, so I've got it apart, but a rod would go through here and a V-belt pulley goes here, and then there's a wire brush and a polishing wheel on either side.
Okay.
And I got this for $12, and my dad and I are gonna hook up a motor and have a wire wheel.
Nice. Okay.
Tell us about your dad.
My dad is a former tool and die maker, so tradesman. He now
Does he like you? Does he collect antiques and stuff?
He's not much for antiques, but he can appreciate some old tools and things of the sort. Yeah. And a lot of the tools that I have are hand-me-downs from him or my grandfather.
I was just wondering, as a father, how a son gets involved in stuff like that, in the things that you get involved in.
Yeah, like a lot of the tools here were either my granddad's or hand-me-downs from my dad. And some of them are cheap stuff and some of them are real nice, but
sorry, Jesse, you were going to say something.
Well, I was going to say a couple of things. I was going to say one thing, and then I wanted to riff off of what Russell just said, and what Austin just said, because my dad's a tradesman as well, or was. He was a carpenter for a long, long time, and then he did the exam and became a building inspector for the city of West Vancouver. And so a lot of tools, really like carpenter level stuff, right? I mean, he wasn't a cabinet maker. He wasn't a die maker or any of that, so a tool maker. So like, circular saws and stuff like that, beat to crap chisels. But I don't have any of his stuff because he lives like 5,000 kilometers away from me,
Yeah,
right?
that'll do it.
He did give me his grandfather's marking gauge, which I treasure massively because it's old. I mean, old. It's probably about as old as I am. Like his grandpa didn't get it when he was in his 20s. He got it later. It's probably about a 60s or 70s era tool. But what I wanted to riff off of from that, and Russell might find interesting, although Russell's probably already heard me say this, is that the thing that made me, the first time I saw Sean James's channel, My Self-Reliance, the first episode that made me like, I'm subbing and I'm watching everything, is the way he held his measuring tape. Because the way he held his measuring tape is like, that guy's built houses.
Yeah.
That guy's done carpentry. There's an ease in holding the tools, and just the way he hits, like someone who's never worked in the trades, when they're nailing something, they sort of, there's a way of doing it, and someone who has worked in the trades, bam, bam, right?
It's true.
You got an interesting. Like, I'm subscribing to that guy because subscribing to that guy because he knows all the measuring tape. I'm subscribing because he looks great in a long sleeve shirt.
Well, it's because like I worked in the trades as my summer job for 5 years in a row. My first summer job, I was building houses, and so I associate the comfort that you can see, like a decade's worth of using your hands with these tools. And you develop a sense of how you hold a measuring tape, how you hold a hammer, how you there's a way of nailing nails in that comes from just working in the trades. And I like seeing that because I have good associations with that, because I was this wimpy ass kid from Montreal standing there in North Vancouver on a work site and learning, or essentially drowning. And it was a great time of my life. And so when I see someone who's obviously a tradesman doing something like, building a log cabin in the freaking woods, I'm like, this is everything to me. This is all of it. I'm here. Hell yes, I'm here. And I haven't been disappointed, Hey, man. Hey, man.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Look at that guy holding his tape measure, building a log cabin in the woods. Yeah. But, it's because little things, I noticed the little things, and that was just a little thing that no one notices. But I have an association with that kind of skill set.
Sure.
Charles is out
right now. Jess, what are you drinking right now?
Well, two things. I'm having my whiskey de Montréal, the Rosemont whiskey de Montreal, and sort of I'm interspersing it actually with some tea.
What? A letter
It's
of
too late
the
in the night for
alphabet?
tea.
It's absolutely too late, but I made this tea earlier and I don't want to waste it.
Jesus H, my friend. That's some commitment.
I know
I'm hardcore.
I know you're going for like cheap booze, but a letter of the alphabet?
Listen, dude, I don't want to fall asleep. Like I don't want to be yawning my way through these. I'm too old to be doing 9 to 11, but I can't do 8 to 10 because life, family, and everything.
I thought I'd share some workshop, call it a self-identified pro tip. If you want a super tool that I've adapted a lot from IT work, is these nylon scraping sticks and picks.
Okay.
You can get them on eBay for like a bunch for a couple bucks.
Okay.
And they're perfect because they don't mar stuff up.
That's
so a
ideal.
lot of times you might use like historically I would use like a flathead screwdriver to scrape something.
Okay.
But thank me later.
Okay. Well, I'll take a look for him. Fab Online says a friend of mine who passed away a few years ago gifted me a Shopsmith 7, which is pretty complete. I haven't seen it yet because it's in Colorado at his brother's house. I am retiring there in 2 years. Nice. I think that's going to be really cool.
I'll be interested to hear how he likes the Shopsmith, because my dad has one, and the more times I've seen him curse at that thing, the less I want one. Because it,
I find so like the two big ones are the Mark 7 and the Mark 5, right? Which one does your
I'm
dad
not
have?
familiar with. I'm not quite certain.
You know what? Let me look it up and I'll see if
He does not have the electronic tool or motor head. His is the manually controlled motor head.
The thing about the Shopsmith is that it's all multi-purpose, right? So
Correct.
like
Yeah.
jack of all trades, master of none kind of thing.
I don't even know that I would give it that distinction. From maybe my father is a very poor demonstrator of the Shopsmith too, but
they're not exactly cheap.
Right? No, they're not.
I think is it the 7 that has the electronic little control thing. I don't know much about these, right? I've seen them before, but wow, they're not cheap.
No.
$4,795 US for a Mark 7 with Power Pro and Pro Fence Table System.
Yeah. And just I'm very excited for this gentleman. I hope that he finds many hours of enjoyment. And what's the old
axiom?
Yeah, your mileage may vary.
Well, and the thing is, Austin, I'm thinking what you said your dad did before retiring.
Mm-hmm.
I would probably enjoy the crap out of the Shopsmith 7. Absolutely, because I don't come at it from that background. My buddy Robin, his father-in-law is a machinist. Okay, so if something's out by a couple of thou, he gets really pissed off about it. Whereas when I'm doing cabinet making, if something's out by a couple of thou, I'm like, you know what? I'll mix some glue and some sawdust, and I'll make that work. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah, I would like to, like, next time I get a tool, I would love it if someone who is a machinist went over it.
Yeah.
Look at it's Mallory.
Where? Oh, my land. Mallory is here at 2254. Mallory, I have questions for you because I would like to turn a very small corner of my room into all Quebec native plants. And I was wondering if you know anything about that, but you didn't come on earlier, so maybe I'll chat with you offline, like tomorrow or something. But yeah, nice to see you, Mal.
No, there's 5 minutes, 4 minutes. There's a few minutes left. Get in here, Mallory.
Yeah, but I'm not going to bug her about it. Okay, I'm going to put the link down south just in case she decides to.
She's
down south? The hell does down south mean?
The comment that I would make about the Shopsmith, and if I were going to choose that over something else, is I would rather choose a shop full of homeowner grade like benchtop tools.
Yeah, I get it. Okay.
Than the Shopsmith.
Fair.
Only because it's if I need something, I can just pick it up and clamp it to the benchtop, and I don't have to go through a whole dog and pony show to rig up one tool and do the.
I get it. Yeah. I've never used a Shopsmith. I've only known what they are. I've seen pictures of them.
Sure.
I think I saw a video once. But I mean, I don't know. I think there are cases made for any tool system, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The reason why I'm kind of with you, I like benchtop tools and hand tools especially, is because I'm kind of a classicist. I like the smell of sawdust without the accompanying smell of diesel or
Power tool.
power tool, oil on power tools and stuff like that.
Power tools has a smell, doesn't it?
It kind of does. And the thing is, hi Mal.
There she is. Hi, Mel.
I keep going back to Mal. I'm about to finish up what I'm saying, and then we'll move on to more interesting stuff.
Like
but Austin,
your freaking hair.
It looks like she's practically got bangs now, Russell. So you can just feel free to, be all glory, bask in the glory.
Be all what?
Be all basking in the glory. I don't know. Leave me alone. I'm too tired. What I wanted to say, yeah, I am very, very affected by the philosophies of Paul Sellers. Okay. He's a cabinet maker. Paul Sellers, he's a cabinet maker.
Okay.
He's got a massively successful YouTube channel because he's been cabinet making and teaching people to make the cabinets, whatever, for like 40 years. And he just, it was a weird, it was almost an offhand comment in one of his videos at one point where he was talking about why he likes to do hand tools. He will use, power tools, but he prefers the hand tools. And he said it's because power tools are all about turning circular motion into cutting motion or into hammering, like whatever, right? You're turning circular motion into, where the rubber hits the road. Mm-hmm. Whereas with hand tools, as soon as your saw starts to go off the line, you can feel it. And I know that because I've experienced that. Like if I'm sawing with a hand saw, as soon as it goes off the line, I'm like, okay, and I can bring it back in before it gets really damaging. But if I'm using a circular saw or, God help me, a jigsaw,
it's over before it started.
It's over before you even notice,
Yep.
And
it's true.
That's just another thing that goes right into me. I love the smell of the sawdust without whatever that weird smell is that comes from power tools. Hi, Mal.
Hi.
How's the garden, Mal?
Almost done. I just pretty much harvested the last of it today. Almost.
I'm still getting tomatoes, man.
Yeah, me too.
They just never end.
Yeah. I don't know how many pounds. I can't wait till I weigh everything up, but I think I have over, I don't know how many hundreds of pounds of them, but I got a lot.
Yeah.
Well, will you can all of it?
I canned a lot of it. I made a lot of salsas, and my daughter eats them straight off the plant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're good
a
fresh.
Lot of it just
They're really
canned.
good fresh.
Yeah, it's amazing. There's nothing like a fresh tomato, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
So Jess, are you going to give us another 15 minutes where we're going to talk about the corner plot with Mallory? The jungle?
Well, I figure we still got 16 people on, so 17 people on. Someone just joined. So yeah,
are you
let's
talking
give
about
another
an
15.
inside garden?
No,
He's talking about a jungle in his backyard.
I'm not talking about a jungle. No, I've got a very small corner that we used to
All right,
grow.
I'll let
little,
Jess explain it.
Little ferns in. Little ferns, just little tiny ferns.
How
little
big
ferns.
we're talking about?
This sounds
Tiny.
He wants a
sound
forced
like,
getaway in his backyard, right? He
I
wants
do,
a
but I
forced
can't
getaway.
have it. I can't have the forced getaway though because we have stupid grass and we have a stupid pool and we have fences and stuff. But there's a small corner about the size of this desk, okay, that you can't see. But imagine the size of a desk, and it used to be all ferns. And I'm wondering if I can put just a couple, a really small little bunch of native plants there, and see if
You said you could put a Muskoka chair there. You can't put a Muskoka chair in the size of your desk. It's going to be a little stool.
I know. I was just messing.
So Mallory,
put a chair.
Put a forest in the corner of his backyard where he can sit and pretend he's at one with nature.
Aww.
Right?
No,
you're gonna have to let me know. What are the growing conditions? Is it part shade? Is it sunny?
Yeah, it's definitely part shade. There's a big honking tree right next to it, and there's a big honking tree on the other side of it. One of those is going to be coming out. I've got 2 cedars, one of which is done. So I'm gonna have to have that yanked out, which is too bad because I like me the cedar.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite trees. I like the smell. Don't like the mosquitoes that they seem to promote, but I do like the smell. Oh, and man, when you're burning cedar, am I alone in this, or does it actually smell good enough that you can almost eat it? Right?
It's one of the 4 sacred medicines.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's true.
I use it to help, like, let's say I need to smoke a cigarette and I don't have any, then I'll get some cedar branches and I'll just steep them in water and I'll just breathe in the steam and it really helps.
Yeah, if you're going to eat a burning cedar bit, then let it cool first.
I was Russell. Somebody gonna get hurt real bad.
You're gonna have to
That's-
let me know what you want in that corner. Do you want something edible? Do you want something that's just like that makes you feel like you're in the forest?
It's, you know what? It's
Hi, Dale.
Dale. Where?
It's Cookie.
Oh, Cookie. Hey.
Cookie.
Hey. Nice to see you. Seems like it's been it's been a while. Cookie says, yeah. You know, it goes back to I went to the Jardin Botanique.
Yeah.
Okay, and they had like a Japanese garden and they had a Chinese garden, both of which were beautiful. They had a native garden. Now their term for garden was, well, the Japanese and
Herbs.
Chinese garden was absolutely set up like those gardens, but the native garden was actually just a trail through forest that had nothing but native, like ferns, little ground cover, this and that,
Yeah.
right? And I've been wondering if I could promote a little bit more wildlife in my yard, even insect, right? By putting in a bunch of little native plants. So I'm not looking
Some
at
asters, maybe.
you know, whatever's like when we were at the what the hell's a Jardin Botanique?
Botanical garden.
Yeah, when we were at the botanical gardens, I took a bunch of pictures of like certain plants, like with the little name tag of the plant. But by the time I thought about doing this, all the ones I really, really liked were like 2 clicks behind me.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, so I'm going to go back and take more pictures, but I would really like to see what that small little corner could be turned into maybe next year, you know?
Yeah. I
'Cause
mean, there's so many possibilities.
For me, it's all about trying to fit something cool into small spaces. I mean, you've
Send me a
seen,
picture.
I sent you a picture of my food garden, right?
Yeah.
Tiny, but I was well supplied with like tomatoes and beans this year. And my kale is fabulous, and I got a bunch of onions. You know, so like, it's all about what can I get from these tiny little spaces, and but like have realistic expectations, right? Like my
Yeah.
peppers, the squirrels, my peppers, the
Oh.
squirrels, my peppers, the squirrels, my
That's
jalapenos.
They got them.
My squirrels are assholes, dude.
Aw.
we had. I was going to say that's really interesting because we had oodles of peppers and we have all kinds of squirrels. I wonder what it was about. I also have a dog, so that's perhaps part of the.
Yeah,
gonna
I have
talk
a
about-
dog and a cat that chase all the squirrels around. So
We're going to talk about squirrels afterwards. Nope.
Oh, boom!
We lost Austin.
Austin, we lost Austin again. He'll probably be back.
I'm thinking, Jess, you need a tree in that corner.
But the thing is, it's all trees around there. Like there's a tree, and there's 2 more trees, and then there's a little corner. I gotta take pictures and send them to you guys
Yeah.
because I mean I'm probably boring
Alright,
the 13 people we have left. But
take
I need-
pictures and
need to see
send it to me,
pictures.
or next week, show them here.
Austin says
got
his
plenty of
headset
time.
decided to die. Yeah,
Oh, his phone.
like
His phone died.
yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, Tenenbaum says the
Squirrels
squirrels got him. All right, Austin. Maybe we'll see you next week. Yeah, because I'm really into this idea of like throwing in some native plants at this point. Like I live in a neighborhood that is all the boulevard I live on is lined with Norway maples, which is essentially a weed, right? Because Jean Drapeau put them all in because he needed something to be growing all down all these streets in these neighborhoods in time for, I don't know, Expo 67 or the 76 Olympics, whichever one was his baby. So there are all these trees that grew really fast, and they're all dying now.
The maples?
Well, the thing is, the Norway maples, they're an imported species. They grow really fast. They throw seeds everywhere like you would not believe. Every year, sort of just as they start to germinate, I go through and I pick them all, and it's like last year I counted on one day I pulled out 344 of these things from my lawn. The year before
like
is
sugar maple.
241. Yeah, but sugar maples are not.
They overpopulate like crazy.
They do. They absolutely do. And I'm not going to put one in my backyard. There used to be a birch standing in this backyard, but it ain't there no more. That makes me sad because I love the birch.
Yeah, they don't last very long.
No, they absolutely don't.
It's hard to find some really nice, big, healthy birch
But
trees.
Mal,
What a
I'm going to be 50 next year. I'm not going to last long either. So
Come on.
glug.
Well,
But yeah, so I like the idea of just throwing down some native because it's never like, and that's the thing, right? People like to plant a garden that's all roses and chrysanthemums or whatever and blah. And I was like, no.
But it could be a perennial, like a gooseberry that's really good in part shade, that likes being, and you can eat them. There's a whole bunch of plants that love part shade and they do really well. Like I think blueberries too, a whole bunch of blueberries.
Yeah, but I know what's going to happen if I put blueberries in that corner, man.
What?
Actually, they're not as bad as like raspberries or strawberries, are they?
No, you get a blueberry bush.
Yeah, and it's not going to, yeah.
No, they're not like raspberries.
Yeah, that's true. It's not a bad idea, actually.
There's a whole bunch of blueberries that are really good in part shade. And like, if you're going to plant something, then might as well be able to harvest something out of it,
Yeah. You're not wrong.
Even even if it's just a little snack or something.
You're not wrong. I just want to make sure that we're not missing anyone. That TGIF is here. Sorry, I totally missed you. How's it going?
Yeah.
Nice to see you. Actually, is this the first time? I see a friend with Cookie. Okay. Nice. We're just yapping. Mahanshi prepping. Nice to see you. Never. I don't think you've been here before.
Gang? Oh, you're getting raided? Are you getting raided?
whoa,
Maybe it's a North Shore raid. I don't know.
you might be.
Oh, that's what it looks like. I see
25
some
people
familiar
watching now.
faces.
Well, I guess
It
we're
went
gonna
from
stay on
14
for
watching
another.
to 25.
I guess
Yeah,
we're
that's
getting
Sean.
Hello.
good old Sean, eh? Good old Sean.
North Shore Preparedness Room Raid. There you go. I knew it.
Yeah.
Hey, Jeep.
Aw.
Hi, everybody. Aw.
Anyway, so that's just something I want to do because I want to see what else I can get showing up in my urban ass backyard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The
Definitely.
discussion is, can we create a jungle in a corner of Jess's backyard? Sorry for all these people are.
But it's weird because like a lot of my best memories, the forest landscape of my best memories are like British Columbian rainforest, right?
37 people watching.
So
Where
I
did this
find
come
that
Great. Oh my gosh, you guys, check the chat.
what the hell's going on, guys?
There's
Say hi, everybody. Come on,
40
they're
people
reading
Hi,
watching.
you.
folks. I'm
We
Look
I'm
alive.
getting
we should do
Okay,
shots
I will
or
look alive.
shit.
Mahanshi
We should do
prepping.
shots
How's it going?
and shit.
Skina's Keto Homestead. Hi there from Oklahoma. Nice to see you. Fox
They
says
don't seem
Jeep.
impressed.
Yeah. Chris is Clevercraft. Klingon Princess. I used to know someone who was the head of the local chapter of the Klingon attack group. I'll talk to you about that later if you want. Just exploring every path. I think that's a Jeep person, judging by the OIIO. Do you know these people?
Yeah, I know a lot of these people.
Win-win, yeah? They're all
I
here
know
for you.
all
Right?
of them.
All right, Mal, sing something. Give us some Bohemian Rhapsody. Come on, do
Yeah,
it.
but he's gonna get copyrighted.
Yeah, don't get me copyrighted because that really, really happy Tuesday.
Oh, like
No,
you're not gonna
preparedness.
you're not gonna
I got a good
monetize
one,
this.
I got a good one. You guys
Just
probably
you're not
know it. You
monetizing
probably
this.
heard me sing this before.
Go.
It's called a beer belly, beer belly. Hook me up some more peanut butter jelly. Now tell me what you think about that. If I could have it my way, I would drink beer all day. Make my belly so round. Drink Jaeger bombs. It's called a beer belly, beer belly. Hook me up some more peanut butter jelly. Now tell me which oh, sing me happy birthday. What is it your birthday, Sean? I can't sing loud. I can't. I wish I had my studio. I'm like
I can do it.
literally-
I can do it.
Okay, do
All
it.
right,
do it.
go.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear North Shore Preparedness. Happy birthday to I couldn't hit that last note, sorry.
And many more. Yay!
So, how old did you turn?
Oh, Sean, how old are you? I don't know.
I did my
That was
I
beautiful.
did
A
my thing.
beautiful, beautiful interpretation, Russell.
You did yourself a good job there. You did yourself a good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, he just got a super chat.
It's
Did I?
It's too
Oh,
bad.
$6.99 from who?
It's too bad
Monique.
for internet latency. Otherwise, we could have done a
Happy birthday
harmony.
to North Shore.
We could have. Yeah.
Guys, I wish I could. I swear, when I have my studio and it's going to be soundproofed, I'm going to sing for you guys. 52nd. It's his 52nd birthday.
52nd. Nice.
Aww.
There's
Nice.
no way
I
he's
like
the
it.
same age as me. That's bullshit. I want a new birthday.
You want a new birthday? I want a new birthday. I want
Right?
a more recent birthday.
Hey Jess, let's be millennials. Fuck this shit.
Okay.
Sorry. Let's be millennials. You and me. We're born in 82.
All right.
I mean 92.
Be me.
Wait, what's
I'm an 88.
You're an idiot. Yeah, you're millennial.
Okay,
All right,
we'll
I
do
will be
92.
Okay, 92 is good. 92 is good. How old does that make us? Because we've
hold
both been
on.
drinking, dude.
Carry the one. Carry the one. I keep carrying a one. I don't know what to do with it. No.
Makes us like 30. We'll be 30 next year.
Okay, 30. Cool. We'll be as old as
Yeah.
Mal.
I'm 33.
Wait. I was going to say, so we're scraping the bottom of the millennial generation then, right? We're practically generation blah, blah, blah. Whatever
Happy
the ones.
Tuesday.
I
Sorry.
can't keep up.
I don't understand.
He says, Happy
Infinities
Tuesday, Jess, Russell. Well, millennials, there are two groups of them, right? Depending on what side of the 2008 crash you came of age. I think he's gone off to see a man about a hearse.
Carrying the one today.
Always carry the
Aw.
one.
You guys are so sweet to stop by here. I haven't seen Aid in a long time. I literally hopped on 5 minutes before he was supposed to go off at 11. And he stayed on, literally.
Yeah.
Because I hopped on.
Raptor Ranches. I'm also 62. You guys are kids. You guys are kids. I tell you what, I told someone hey, Sheena's Keto Homestead is 47. I miss being 47. I miss being 25. I don't know if I actually miss being 25. I sure as hell don't miss being anything under 25. But like 25 felt like that was the year when adulthood became mine. Like up until then, it's like, shut up, kid. And then you're 25, and then everyone around you's like, okay, you're an adult. Did anyone here have the same kind of experience with hitting 25?
Well, I've been on my own since I was 14, so I'm not a good reference.
Well, I meant North Shore. You can't just stop by to drop off the love and then disappear. Should I invite North Shore on?
No, he's live on his panel. He's rating.
Oh,
it.
he's live right now. Okay, good to know.
So yeah, he's probably gonna call back his tribe and be like, "Okay, this is the call back, everybody," and then everybody's gonna like go all the way back.
Okay,
because they're awesome.
Thanks for hanging out, everyone. If you are enjoying what we're doing, please hit that thumbs up. If you're not enjoying what we're doing, then please hit that thumbs down.
We can sing more. If you
Happy birthday. Norsha, okay, you're doing your own stream right now. All right. I don't know how the raids work that way. Like,
Happy birthday to
to
you. Raids. Okay, so everybody's live on his channel, right? So North Shore
What?
Preparedness probably has like he usually has around like 50 to 70 people in his live streams.
hold on.
Nice.
And
If we could just pause for a second, because I don't know what's going on here. If all these people are heading back to the other channel, it's gonna create some kind of vacuum, right? It's gonna
See?
create a vacuum.
dude, your beard's looking good, Sean.
Wow,
Thank
I like that soup catcher.
I just got a huge donation there, Mallory. Is it $50?
So they got 37 people.
You know how many shopping carts you could buy with that?
Some. That's a nice beard. I don't think I could pull off that kind of beard. I kind of want to see where I can go with that at some point. But it really drives me crazy if it gets like this long.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
like-
Well, I'm in
Yeah, yeah,
here.
yeah.
I was like,
Yeah,
Oh
me
Drive
too. You know, just around this area here.
yeah. Because you totally know what we're talking about, right? I love it. Shut up, Bubbles.
Oh, see, Rally
Thank you,
Drive.
Anna. I hope you enjoy what there is to see on my channel.
Cliff, nobody says shut up, Bubbles.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for stopping in. You guys are
Yeah.
awesome.
All right, thanks you guys. It was nice to see you all. Unfortunately, so many of you showed up at once that I couldn't do my usual name by name shout out.
Sweeney's
Ragnarok
Good Fun.
Prepper. Now there's a name. Oh no, it skipped out of my Ragnarok Prepper. That's like the most apocalyptic name ever. I love
He's a
it.
Viking.
That was like pitchforks and hearts.
Pitchforks in hearts. Yikes. Well, yeah, where were we before we got raided so beautifully?
We were talking about your little tiny garden that you're maybe possibly going to plant blueberries in.
I like the idea of blueberries because the thing is that a lot of native berry bearing plants, there is no way to say this. A lot of native berry plants
Yes.
are kind of toxic, and I have a 2.5-year-old, so I don't want to plant anything that I'm going to kill one of my kids with, right? But the idea of putting blueberries in is cool because it means that they can sort of wander over,
Yeah,
munch. Yeah, I like it.
exactly.
Sweeney's Creek Farm, by the way, if Sweeney is still here, says, "Is that a new haircut, Mallory?"
Yes, I did. See, it's shaved and all nice and clean and short. Very short.
You liking it
Looks
still?
like a 12-year-old boy.
Oh, yeah,
Hey, now.
definitely. I'm
Behave.
totally like, yeah,
Bieber.
I'm so happy. But anyways, like
Bieber.
now it's
She looks
winter,
like
so
Bieber.
all I have is a toque on my head. Well, it's winter.
Mhm.
It's not winter yet, but it's toque season. So like nobody sees my hair anyways, except for you guys.
I was going to say, except anyone who's ever been on your live stream. I just want to say hi to Raptor Ranch for subscribing and saying hi. Thanks if you're still here. Thank you very much. Where was I? I have completely lost what I was going to say. Oh, yes.
Oh, cool.
Here's I look forward to following you all. I didn't even know your channels exist. Oh, so you're new to all three of us. Sheena, you're going to love all of us.
And you guys, you can subscribe to my channel, but only if you're gonna go watch it.
Yeah. No, all three of us do, spectacular.
No,
Spectacular.
I don't.
work.
I don't do YouTube videos.
Dude, I spend too much of my time watching your YouTube videos. Cut it out. Because you're living the life I want out there in the damn woods.
I
Next
play
to
a
a
disco
pond.
ball, and sometimes I dance and sing.
I play bass, and sometimes I dance and sing. Not
I
for
do a
free.
little bit of everything.
You do a little bit of all. Yeah. Cliff knows some of these people. It's asking Steve, who is Sweeney's Creek Farm, how the orchard is going. It's funny, like, over the past year, I have met or discovered by watching their videos so many people whose lives are so completely different than mine. Like, people who have
Like me.
orchards, or like you, or like you, Mallory, like all these people who live
Living vicariously through our channels. Yeah.
absolutely, you know, like even Joe Robinette has a degree in like tree stuff, right? I think it was forest management or something, right? Like it never occurred
Never
to me
know
that
it.
you could get a degree in forestry or forest management, or like to me it was because I was going to art school, right? That's how I grew up, you know, from whenever I was 4 at the the art gallery in Manitoba every weekend doing painting all the way through to university. It was always artsy, 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 artsy. It never occurred to me that you could go to school where you could learn about trees.
Yeah.
Aside from being like a biologist of some sort, or a botanist, you know what I'm saying? And I was very bad at math, so the sciences were closed to me. Which, by the way, I spend a lot of my time thinking about that. Like, if you had the math, you could be, through hard work, an astronomer.
Right.
You could be a marine biologist. You could be all these magical
doctor.
things. I never wanted to be a doctor, and I still don't want to be a doctor. But man,
either.
if I had the math and you told me that I could have been an astrophysicist, I would have been like, yes, please. You know, if you told me I could be a marine biologist, I'd be, hell yeah. You
Not me. I'm happy on my little simple farm life here. Way happy that I don't have to be in a big city to find me a big job that pays the bills. Nope.
So you're happy you're not living my life.
Unfortunately.
I don't have a big job. I have a good job. I'm not going to talk about my job online because it's kind of secret, but I mean, I have a good job, but it doesn't happen out in the forest. There are people whose jobs are them being in the forest.
Yeah. That's like us. If we need extra money, we go harvest wood.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna do this winter.
You're going to do this winter, yeah?
Yeah. We're gonna do a lot of logging videos.
Do you ever listen to the Essential Craftsman podcast?
Nope. I hardly
Or-
listen to any podcasts. I don't have time.
Essential Craftsman it's a YouTube channel, but they also have a podcast. And
Okay.
It's the son who is kind of the podcasting camera. You know, he's definitely more the media person, and then his dad, who is an old school craftsman,
Tradesman?
yeah. You know, carpentry. He now has a little forge, and he's taken up the banging of the metal, forging.
Forging.
But he used to have a mill, a logging mill, you know, and it's amazing to listen to this podcast because of the fact that this guy has such a deep knowledge of so much of that side of the world, right? From building the house to like doing finishing work on a house, for instance, to framing a house, to making 2x4s. And he even did some logging. He and his dad used to have a logging company, right? So he has knowledge all the way down the line. From
What's the name of the channel?
The Essential, what's it called? The Essential Craftsman. Because now I'm all like, you know, and like a half bottle of whiskey ago, I knew what the hell I was talking about. It's the Essential Craftsman podcast.
I like him already.
And it's just like, because these guys they're trying to sort of interview craftsmen in many different things. Like they've taken on this idea that craft is to make stuff. So you could be a photographer and you're still a craftsman in some way. You could be building boutique homes. You could be doing concrete work. You could be doing all this stuff. But at the end of the day, you know, when his father is asking questions, you can tell he's a guy who comes from the craftsman's point of view. Russell, this is the second time I've fallen into this trap talking about this stuff tonight, because I was saying the same damn thing about in a tertiary way, I was saying the same thing about why I was so taken with my self-reliance. because he is so obviously a craftsman, and so obviously for decades, you know.
Yeah.
I hope
And-
you're not
and-
blaming me.
No, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I only ever blame myself. I make all my own mistakes. But like, it's interesting because there is this line of craft from taking down a tree if you do it right to putting
Yeah.
the 2x4 from that tree into a wall if you do it right. And this one guy has experience all down the line, from cutting the tree to finishing work on a house. And so that's why, like, I listen to their podcast all the time. I don't watch the YouTube channel as much as I listen to the podcast, because if I'm driving somewhere, I have a podcast on, right? Dropping my kid off at daycare, I've got a podcast on.
Yeah, I don't have enough reception to listen to podcasts when I'm driving. I would have to download the whole podcast on
Yeah,
my
which is what
phone.
I do. Yeah, I do that too. And then whenever it's listened to, it just sort of I delete it. But yeah,
Yeah.
You gotta save it. You gotta save it.
yeah.
Because streaming, I hear it. Like I go like a kilometer away, it cuts out, and then I turn,
Yeah.
I turn, and then I get it again for like 2 minutes, and then whoop, 45 minutes, no more.
Yeah, you absolutely have to download then. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's so frustrating when you're listening to one and
I had
hello?
no idea we could download the podcast. That's interesting. I'll have to.
Oh yeah. I think I mentioned to Russell in a previous podcast. No, in a previous episode. Oh, stop, Jesse. That the way I discovered hardcore history was
a previous drunken session. Yeah.
yeah, previous. Was that we Sweeney's Creek Farm says just joined the family, mate. We'll check out some videos. Love the look of the review of Ukrainian bushcraft knife. That knife is so cool. You're gonna like that. Are those pumpkins?
Yeah, that's me today with my doggy.
Oh my land! Oh my land! Look at
It's a
that.
lot, eh?
Nice. Nice.
What was I saying before I got distracted by 3 distractions ago?
Tradesmen, pumpkins, and podcast.
Podcast.
Yeah. The way I discovered the Hardcore History podcast was when my guitarist and I were driving through New Brunswick on our way to a gig. We were meeting our fiddler in PEI, and there's a lot of New Brunswick where you don't get any damn signal, right?
Yeah.
And so we're going through the part of what I call darkest New Brunswick, where there's no radio signal or cell signal, and this podcast is still going. And I'm like, oh, wow, what's going? Because by the way, those podcasts, Hardcore History, each podcast is like 5 or 6 hours.
Oh,
Okay,
shoot.
so if you're driving from Montreal to Quebec City or something, you throw on one of those. And that's when I realized that you can actually download your podcasts. Because nothing is worse than listening to something that you're really jamming to. I don't know why I put it that way, but you know that you're like really into. Yeah, because you're jamming to the podcast. Talk, man. Yeah, you got it. You just keep saying. But like you're listening to something and it just sort of disappears.
Yeah.
You know.
That's really good. Yeah, podcasts and audiobooks is something that I'd really like to get into because I do work a lot outside. It's just that when I'm working outside, I need to be alert.
Yeah.
I need to be alert and and like if it's not for just for my dog, making sure that he doesn't run off, then the machines around me, So like I can't really listen
I
to
love
them.
audiobooks.
Yeah.
Audiobooks are the single best way to make time go by. I don't know about your stupid situations, Mallory, but if you're driving in a car, like audiobooks is the way to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was
Knowing
that.
that we can download them, that's really interesting.
Yeah, I used
Well,
to
if
be that
you
way with
use something-
audiobooks, but I'm all about the podcast.
Yeah, if you use something like Spotify, you can download audio. Well, it
I don't
costs
have
money, but
Spotify.
Yeah, Spotify can suck
I mean,
my
just-
ass.
Jess, what free app can you use to download?
It's the stupidest thing. I'm like, Spotify can suck my ass, but I pay for Apple Music. I'm like, what am I? Why am I saying that? Like, I'm better than that? No, because I pay for Apple Music.
I pay
I
for
could have paid
Google
for-
Music, but it comes
you-
with premium, so no ads.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Do we have a free app that can download podcasts? Anybody?
Yeah,
Jesus.
absolutely. what's it called? Over something. Over
But I mean,
Overcast?
if you're buying an audiobook, then it's okay to pay for the book. I mean, like I wouldn't mind paying for an audiobook. I mean, you go out to buy any kind of book, yeah, you have to pay for it anyways.
Yep.
It
Absolutely.
used to be you bought an audiobook and it's like, oh, here's like 15 cassettes. Yeah. So it was
Yeah,
expensive.
absolutely. Yeah, my what's it called? Podcast app is Overcast.
It's a phone.
Yep.
The app on my phone with which I listen to the podcastage.
I'm sorry.
It's called Overcast.
I was ahead. I was
Overcast.
doing the thing.
I'm here to help, Russell. I'm here to help. Okay. Stitcher, yes. Shawnee says Stitcher, absolutely. I know our library has its own app with
Stitcher.
audiobooks for free. Interesting. That's cool. And I just realized I've just Cliff and Sweeney's are talking about
Fruit trees.
fruit trees. Yeah, my dad used to have what they call a fruit salad tree. Do any of you guys know those?
Stitcher. I've heard of it. Yeah, the one with like all the kind of
Yeah,
fruits on it.
because I guess you've grafted all these different fruits on.
Yeah.
We
Chris
had
Bulldog
an apple. We had an apple tree like that. Sorry, we had an apple tree like it was like 4 different types of apple grafted onto one tree. It was really cool.
Yeah. You can graft pears as well.
Yep. I'm
Onto apples.
interested by what Russell just said though, because I said that my dad had a fruit salad tree, and Russell says he had one of those grafted fruit trees. Why do so many people had these trees and not so many people have these trees?
Rabbits.
Fucking rabbits.
Really?
Chris Bulldog says that Overdrive works with a lot of
Yep.
public libraries. That's a good point for Overdrive.
That
What
is
do
an
the
excellent
rabbits bite the bark or something and kill
Oh
it?
yeah, they totally. Yeah, they're like beavers. They just sit there
Really?
and all the bark and as high up as they can reach, which
As a
is
smell.
like 3 or 4 feet, because rabbits
Really?
are freaking like slinkies. I don't know.
I'll be back in 1 second, guys.
Okay.
Me too.
Interesting.
Go, Mallory.
All right. That's
All right, I'll
interesting.
hang out until Russell comes back.
Oh, okay.
What, you just want to? Okay, you want to take over the
No worries.
the live stream? Is that it?
That was just going over. I was like thinking about the bunnies eating the trees. We have mice here, but we don't have bunnies biting the trees. Interesting. Oh, Overdrive works with a lot of public libraries. I need to go check those out. I really want to get into really more like audiobooks though. I heard it called a fruit cocktail tree. Yeah. I'm gonna have to try to graft some trees. I've never grafted a tree before.
The tree I was talking about, the apple tree, was in this. We did that in the city. That's why it was a problem. Out here, it wouldn't be. Would it be rabbits? It could be.
Mice?
Oh my god! Did you see that?
No. It splashed all over you?
Yeah, it did. It would be like deer. Well, there could be rabbits, I guess.
Moose are pretty intense too on small fruit trees, on apple trees specifically.
Yeah. So I'd
we're
have
like-
to
we
put
have
up
a
some
really big
hardware
dog
cloth
and-
around it. And crap.
What?
But I tell you what I want to do, Mallory. I want to put up an apple tree like over there. You see where I'm pointing?
Where the pond is?
I can't across the pond
Okay.
on a
Oh, so you
open
can see
area,
deer?
lots of sun. But here's my thing though. I want to be sitting on the deck with my gun. I want to shoot a deer off my deck. That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
I don't want to go out there and do shit. I want to be sitting on my deck on a rocking chair. Like, oh, there's a deer. Bam!
Yeah. You're
So
gonna
why
have
don't
to
you just put
protect that
a
tree,
pile
though.
of carrots? Just put a pile of carrots.
An apple tree, though. Think about it, Jess.
Yeah, you
They're
should
just
put like
constantly
7
dropping
apple trees.
apples.
Put 7 apple
Yeah.
trees.
Now
Yeah,
you need
and-
multiple trees to pollinate, right, Mallory?
Well, yeah, you do.
You do? Really?
I think for apples, yeah, you need to have a few different types of trees for them to pollinate each other. But the more you have, the more deer you'll have. We used to have 7 apple trees at my dad's place, and we had so many hunters stop by during hunting season saying, "Can we shoot the deer that are just eating there?" And my dad refused every year because he's really not a hunter. He just really enjoyed to watch them eat the apples. But yeah, it works. We had like crowds of
So,
deer. But you got to protect them when they're really small, though. If you want to do
Yeah.
that, Russell, you're
You
gonna have
gotta-
to like make a fence or something so that they don't
Yeah.
eat them.
That's what I was talking about. Like hardware cloth around them. Hardware cloth will even keep a mouse out.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But you got to anchor
yeah.
it down properly and stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Definitely.
Cookie's right. It's called a fruit cocktail tree. Absolutely. I called it a fruit salad tree. It's not. It's a fruit cocktail tree. Yeah.
Oh man, I asked Ben to go. He went to go get some stuff for the bees today at the store, and he's like, "Hey Mallory, do you want anything?" I'm like, "Yeah, get me some beer." He comes back. I'm like, "So where's the beer?" He's like, "Oh crap, he forgot it."
I tell you something that might make this that might make that hurt just a little less, Mallory. I will have one thing to buy. I will go out. I will do all my commission in one trip, right? I got to hit Canadian Tire. I got to hit Renault Depot.
Yeah.
I got to hit Provigo to buy some blah, blah, blah. The one thing that I went out for was the blah, blah, blah at Provigo. And I will come home with everything
But
except the blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, while I'm at Provigo looking for the blah, 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 I'll pick up some muffins. I'll buy some blah. I'll get some, I don't know, cheese. I'll buy some hummus. I will buy everything but the blah, blah, blah. And I'll get back and I'll empty my stuff, and the missus will be, yeah, but where's the blah, blah, blah? And I'll be like,
I don't say blah blah blah.
I don't. I'm so glad you went there. Because that's where I was gonna freaking go. But you know, like, but what I'm saying is, like, I will get everything but what I went out for. Not every time, but often enough that I'm really kind of tired of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Jess, we got to talk.
Ian, the web lord. Hello.
I do that like in the like back in the city. In fact, I was back in the city yesterday, and I was like, "Oh, I got to go upstairs and do this, grab this thing." So I go upstairs, I putter around, I grab some stuff, I come back downstairs. Oh, I didn't grab the thing I went to go for. Go back upstairs, look around, come back downstairs. Oh, I didn't do anything upstairs. I just came back downstairs.
Oh,
Go back
yeah.
upstairs,
I hate that.
Look around, come back downstairs.
I do it all the time.
I will spend.
It's horrible.
I seriously, like, even around here in the cabin, I will spend an hour walking around, just looking at stuff, and go, "Whoa, wait, what was I doing? Oh, I was looking for a tape measure. Oh, I spent the last hour walking around just looking at stuff, forgetting that I was looking for a tape measure, and there it is over
welcome to my
there.
life. Yeah.
Yep.
But
that happens.
just we'll have to talk after this. Stop drinking the fucking tea. My God, I'm dying over here.
But I have to make the whiskey last longer.
No, you have more whiskey. We know that.
I have so
It's
much more
almost
whiskey.
midnight already.
You have so much more of that shit whiskey. You need to get rid of it.
I only have about that much. No, dude, Friday I put up a video on my whiskey channel of an absolute shit whiskey. It is. I'm angry at it. I'm really pissed off at it. Wow, man. I'm just like, I can't believe it.
Aw.
Okay. So, hold on. This morning I was really angry. I was trying to set up a new internet thing at our new condo. I was angry, and City Girl came to me and she's like, "Okay, are you okay? Okay, let's come here and kiss me." And I'm like, "I'll kiss you, but it's going to be an angry kiss." Come on, we all get that, right? It's
Yeah, absolutely. I don't.
You're angry
remember
about
last
something.
time
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna be pissed about it. This is when I'm pissed off. My missus is like, whoa, relax. From the other side of the room.
Ben needs to say that a lot. Slack and read, lo. which means I don't know how you would translate
I don't
that.
even know how to translate that.
Nope.
But
Nope.
that's rural, man. You never hear that in Montreal.
Nope.
No,
It's way redneck country style.
Yeah.
Quebecois.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel left out when you're talking French.
Hey guys, I'm gonna head out. Yeah, Cookie, you got the right idea. It is late.
Yeah,
my
it
horse
is late.
actually popped another abscess, so I've
Wait,
been.
what?
My horse has another
In the
abscess.
hoof?
Yeah.
Oh, you're harsh.
So how,
Yeah. So
How-
morning and night, I have to soak it, make sure that he's okay. He's walking on it.
is it the same hoof?
Yeah, it's a recurring one on the same hoof. Yeah.
So I see. I thought last time that like once it's fixed, it's fixed.
No, unfortunately not. My soil, we learned that my soil is extremely acidic and it's really not good for their hooves. And so we've been even contemplating maybe putting him in a facility so that we can make our soils better because it's only making his feet worse. So
Wow. Okay.
yeah, there's a lot of work to be done. Like we had no idea how far gone the pastures were, but they were just overgrown for too long, and they would have to be redone completely. Like, and I refuse to put Roundup in it,
Yeah, I
but
get
that's
that.
what it would need, you know.
But you can't just like I don't know. I don't know how you change a pasture over in that
It's
way.
just so overgrown with like natural plants. It was coming back into forest when we bought it here in 2017. So, like the forest floor was taking over. There were 12-foot trees growing on it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah,
All right.
winter is easier because they're not on the soil.
Mm-hmm.
They're on snow, but it's not very fun. But yeah, anyways, we're looking into it.
Holy crap! Look
Yes.
who's here.
What the hell are you guys still doing up?
Well, I was about to
It's
get
my
off,
fault.
and then suddenly, Mallory came on. I was like, okay, I'll stay on for 15 more minutes. And then North Shore Preparedness, I think it was, rated my channel. So I was like, okay, I'll stay on. And then Mallory was about to get off, and then she said that her horse has another abscess in his hoof. And I was like, what the funk, dude?
Yeah.
So I'm getting the
I've
story on
been
that.
watching you guys for like the last hour and a half. I've had
How come
you,
you-
but I was in the green room with my my crew there. So
I was
Yeah, Cliff, I can't do that.
that's-
I want to keep it. I want to keep it pasture so they can eat, because or else I'm gonna have to buy hay.
oh, that's this question from Cliff.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
And I have
just jump
30
up here.
acres of pasture. 30 acres.
Bye, Grace.
I guess
30
I gotta go.
acres. That sounds great. All right, bye,
Hey,
Mallory.
Dennis.
Good night,
Not you,
Mallory.
Russell. Not you, Jesse. No, I'm just joking.
Why you gotta be hating?
Love you guys.
Bye.
Later, Mel.
She hates me. Yeah, Dennis, I didn't see any of your show tonight. Sometimes I'll get some of it, but like we were doing pumpkins with the kids, and it's just like,
That's okay. That's
It
important.
was a good show. It was a good show. It was awesome.
Once it started,
I'll do as I always do. Watch it the next day.
did you see? Were you there from the beginning, Russell?
I was. There was like a minute of nothing, but
Yeah. Fucking internet.
everybody hung out.
Frickin' internet.
Everybody hung out and just waited. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dennis, did you get kicked off your own show again?
No, well, no. My internet just we got a good rainstorm going through southern Ontario here.
Yeah, we've been.
And, yeah, that had my internet going crazy, and I was talking with Justin Barber in the green room, and I asked him how I looked, like not how I look, but how the shot looked, and he said,
Pixelation
well,
and
really pixelated. I go, okay, time to restart the modem and reboot the computer, and yeah, I had a nightmare from there. It took me like 5 minutes into the show before the show started, and another one of them.
Yeah, I get it.
And then once it did kick in, it was good. The quality was good. So
All the way to the end.
It didn't seem that long to me, and yeah, you were great afterwards.
yeah, but still, I'll tell you, a couple more gray hairs, lost a few more. Just clearing it all off the desk here now. Eh? Feed the fish.
It was fine, Dennis. It was fine. It wasn't that long, honestly.
It's I
Thanks
feel
for
that
doing a great mod job too, there, Russell. I've seen some of your comments there. Appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. I'll tell you what, Dennis. Have I ever told you this before? Stop me if I haven't. I'll probably say this again. But have you ever thought about a second host on your live streams?
I have thought of it. It's just trying to get it all set up and stuff, and yeah.
I watched another channel do live streams every Thursday night where they same sort of thing. They interview people, but he had a second person just watching chat and recording questions.
Yeah,
and it was kind of a good dynamic where the main host asked the standard questions, and then he's like pass it over to the other guys to say, what have you got from the chat? And he asked questions, but it was a really good dynamic between them and the guests.
When Simo had time, he used to do that on my channel sometimes, which was kind of cool.
The only problem with that is StreamYard needs to implement a like an admin or something, like where I can say, for instance, okay, Russell, you're going to be my second on the show, where I can give you the ability to, pop questions up on the screen and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they don't offer anything like that, right? So, like, how would you suggest that happens? Okay, I'm hosting the show. How do you take care of getting questions up?
Well, so the second he just in the case that I'm talking about, I mean, he just literally wrote down shit, and I'm like, don't do that. Just
yeah.
You have a digital environment here. Don't. But he did it anyway. I mean, it's not very technically involved people, but he
who was that?
Cooking with CJ. I mean, you can look up Cooking with CJ and look at his live streams. He hasn't done them for a while. They quit doing them. But I thought it was a really good dynamic, because you get two people on screen, and it's like, if somebody's a little bit awkward, like your guest is a little bit awkward, or Dennis, you're feeling a little bit awkward, the third person really adds a great dynamic to it.
Sure.
Where you can just kind of banter back and forth and stuff.
Yeah.
But the second host just watches chat, and he records questions, and so the host just passes it over and says, okay, what do you get from chat? And then it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It goes back and forth, but
see, like that's what I say, is that's a great concept. I understand that, but it's just how like, you could actually just read what's in the chat, then, is what you're saying, right?
But Dennis, look what Shawnee's saying. Host will repost the question in chat from main host to click for on the screen.
Oh yeah, that's a great idea.
That's actually a really good idea. I mean, it's not a perfect solution, but it's a pretty good one until such time as StreamYard.
Dennis, I'll send you an example. I'll send you an example of live stream what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, I'm familiar with that, actually, because the hiking podcast, they do it. CW Gets, he's got that. But they have a producer that actually takes care of all the back end stuff, right? So basically, CW Gets as a host or as a guest on his own show type of thing, right?
Yeah. Because someone else is running all the back end.
You look at any of the classic. I'm not even talking the live streams, like the classic. What am I thinking of? The Tonight shows.
Yeah,
the Carsons. There was always a second guy there that the host could bounce stuff off of and laugh about and stuff.
Grace says that Townsend has his camera guy read him questions from chat. Seems to work well. I have not seen Townsend's.
I watch that channel too. Yeah,
I love that channel. I have not seen not one of their live streams.
Friday afternoons, I think they're on.
Yep, on the Friday afternoons, I'm usually still stressing over work.
Sorry, Dennis. I bring it up. Dennis, I love your show, and I just looking at if there's ways to improve it and make it more spectacular than, because what you do is different than what the rest of us do. I mean, we all kind of make videos and we put them on YouTube, but your thing is a live show.
Yeah.
And I think that's awesome, and I think that's the sort of thing that I'd love to see
That's only
succeed.
because I've got like 3 or 4 videos in the can that I still have to edit. I just haven't got time to edit them right. So it's slowly turning my channel into nothing but a live stream channel, which wasn't the intention of my channel to begin with.
But the thing is, I
Hey,
feel that
Go
keeping a
go
live
with what
stream like
works.
yeah, well, there is that, but I also feel that having a live stream of your caliber where you've got guests every week, and you've got to have your hustle going. That well, the thing is that is a second full-time job, right?
It is indeed.
You know,
Indeed.
and so someone's got to give somewhere. You know.
Yeah, it draws a lot of my time. It takes a lot of time from my my true livelihood, which is my business.
Yep.
And yeah, sometimes it makes you think, hey, is it all worth it? Because believe me, the channel doesn't make a lot of money.
Yeah, no, yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Good night,
everything
Tim.
I seem to give back to people, right, through giveaways and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I get that. I feel that down around the sub numbers where we are, I think you're actually quite a bit more than me now, Dennis. But I feel that it's harder to make this thing financially a go until you're at around 10,000.
Yeah.
And I mean, there are people who are really making it happen less than that, but if you're trying to hold down a full-time job and do the YouTubes, you kind of need the subs.
Yeah. Oh, believe me, I'm not looking to this for an income.
Yeah.
It's a hobby. It's a passion. I enjoy
Can
it.
I just point out what Grace just said? It seems that editing is the ultimate buzzkill. It is so easy to burn the shift right out when you're doing your own editing. I fight against that every week. And I'm a guy who doesn't hate editing. But shooting and editing, it just kills you.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. I don't mind editing at all, but the thought of doing it and I'm gonna spend the next 3 hours doing it. Shit.
Yeah, absolutely. Just kills me.
But Dennis, I love the idea of the live show, because if you get it all right, there's no editing involved afterwards, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Just bang, 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 bang. And I learned that. Well, I don't want to go into a long backstory, but I learned that long ago. Just if you can do it all in one shot.
Yeah.
One take. One take done.
Pretty much.
But there are channels that I watch that are one take and done, right? Where they're not worried about, like, I get so twisted up over, okay, I got to shoot that again. There are channels, especially like in Whiskey Tube, where I spend some of my time as well. But these guys are just turning on the camera and go, right? There's this guy, Ralphie.com. He's like the OG of Whiskey Tube. He just turns on his camera and goes, and then turns off the camera.
Some people can do that. You know that, right?
Crap, dude. I say, holy crap.
People can do that. Come on, some people can do that.
Oh, we got Robo Russell.
But, you're right. Some people can do that. Ralphie.com, I mean, he's been going for longer than 10 years. I mean, he's got it dialed in.
I'll tell you what. I hit record and I do what I do because people expect that they're going to see the real thing. Like, whether it's good or it's bad, that's me doing stuff. That's why it's often one take for me.
Yeah, I wish I could do one take. For a lot of what I do one take. But my outros are very hard to get one take because I don't know what I'm going to say. Right? So I'm like, thanks for hanging out with, that's all she wrote. Thanks for hanging out with me while I blah, blah, blah. Then I have no idea what I'm saying until it actually comes out of my mouth. Right? And so, sometimes I'll be like, well, I'll trip. And I'm a guy who trips over his words a lot. and I don't want to have me tripping over my words on screen, so I reshoot that.
Yeah, Jess, if you're going to be an authority on something, here, I'm doing this, and I'm an authority on this. I'm going to start a fire. This is how you do it. That's one thing, right?
Well, I'm an authority on being Jesse, so I feel that
How's
I
that
need to bring
working out?
my A game.
Jesus, that's
Like-
a real. That seems like a real fail.
You're not wrong. I'll just go to bed now. Russell says, no, Ian the Web Lord says, Russell, good or not perfect is pure enjoyment. Yeah, and in fact, Sheena says, Sheena's Keto Homestead says, I enjoy real. I'm certainly not perfect. Yeah, none of us are. I mean, I leave in, like, here's the thing. If I make an epic mistake, I leave it in. If I just like trip over my words partway through a sentence, I'll reshoot the sentence. You know, if I cannot get a fire started, I'll leave that in, because that's where keeping it real is important. Whereas if I'm saying like, thanks for hanging out with me while I shoot this blah blah blah, and I trip over my words for the next 3 seconds, no, I'll reshoot that because it's inconsequential. Whereas if I, on a live stream, cut my goddamn self deep enough to leave a scar, then I'm not going to go back and edit that out. That's going to stay in there as it did when I did that. But, like...
I tell you what I hate. I hate doing product reviews. Product reviews are like, oh, here's this product. I'm going to state all the specifics about it, all the specifications. And I'll screw up like 10 times.
Yeah, that's tough. And that's why what I've started doing is like doing a freeze screen and just drop the stats down next to it or something. I find it's just a better use of
I get a
time.
kick out of when you do yours and you do that. There you go. I'm going to give you a minute to read this.
Yeah. Oh, like on the kid stuff. I'm like, I'm going to spend an awkward minute sitting here.
Let's go through the specs.
Well, that should be good enough.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, wow. Check this out. Sheena's Keto Homestead. I agree, Ian. Because Ian said, I like the authentic over the perfect edit. I agree, Ian. I had a heart attack 2 years ago, so my words don't always come out right, but I leave it. I like hearing stuff like that because, A, you had a heart attack and you're still here and still doing stuff, which is a win, because I do know people personally who first heart attack and like, okay, I shall do nothing but sit down and relax for the rest of my shortened life. So, and it's nice to know you're still getting out there and doing stuff. And because I, about 6 months ago, I guess, had a very spectacular medical scare, which I've been dealing with ever since. And so I'm trying to avoid exactly what you've lived through. So yeah, I just do the best I can, Sheena's Keto Homestead says, and that's all we can really do, isn't it? Any of us. So, because one day I want to be like 60 and paddling the French, or paddling the blood vein or something,
I do too. I want to be 60 paddling the French. That's 3 years from now.
It's 3 years, yeah.
Yeah, I was up by the French last weekend.
Were you?
Our trip was up there, yeah. Me and my buddies went up to Naganash. You've heard of Naganash? Pine Martin talks about it all the time. Kevin talks about it all the time.
How long is that drive?
From here,
because you're south, man.
5.5 to 6 hours.
5.5 to 6. Okay, that's actually, for some reason, that's less than I thought it was going to be.
Well, it's a little closer. It's below French River, so.
Okay, and you're not north of Toronto? You're south, right?
I'm south of Toronto. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm down by Niagara Falls.
Yeah. And that's as close as we're going to get to talking about where you live.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was a little because I used to know someone in Toronto, and they have a cabin somewhere on the French, but it was like a 7-hour drive from where they lived to their cabin. Now, granted, it's a river, so it doesn't mean that they rent from their. Oh, there we are, French River cabin. I mean, it might have been along the river somewhere, but yeah. Wow, Ian said he had a heart attack at 50 2 years ago. Jeez, crumbs, guys. I'm glad that we're all still here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, I like the idea of like being in my 60s and still doing paddling and bushcraft and camping and stuff. Like I have a mother who is 71-ish and a dad who is about the same age, and they're not the same at all about their age. You know how some people get old and other people just don't?
Mm-hmm.
I know which of those I want to be. And I kind of think, I'm the one who doesn't. And I think that you're kind of the same. I think that Russell might be the same too. Like, there's a real value to not growing old just because you're 65 kind of thing. I feel.
Yeah.
I did a lot of solar power system sales, and almost all of my customers were retirement age or older. And the people I admired were like people who were still busy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're 70 plus. They're still busy. They're out there doing stuff every day.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Hey, Russell, a quick question for you. I watched your video yesterday. Did you shorten up your porch?
No? Shorten?
Yeah, for some reason your porch doesn't look as big as I thought it was. I thought your porch went all the way across the whole front of your cabin.
Oh, you're thinking, okay, so the porch on that side is like coming up the trail, ATV trail towards the cabin. There's a deck on that side, which is the full length of the cabin. So you might be getting them confused.
Okay, so you're platting you're doing the board and batten on the side facing the trail. Okay,
that's the south side. The north side is this side that faces the pond.
Oh yeah, because that one had a door, and this is your slider doors. Okay, gotcha now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I was right because I remember watching the video where City Girl was making little end tables and stuff like that. The crafting one there.
Oh yeah, that's a good video.
His porch was way bigger than that, man. Okay.
I kind of feel that when I build, I'm saying when I build, like I'm going to win the lottery or something, but let me have my dreams, okay? When I build a cabin, I would like to have one of those big wraparound porches. You know, like, you guys know, like, antebellum South. I know we shouldn't say antebellum anymore, but you know, like old time South, Southern houses before there was air conditioning, right? You had very high peaked roofs with a little window up at the top, you know, on either side. You had these wide wraparound porches because the whole thing was about getting airflow, right? Heat rises, goes out these little vents at the top, these little windows at the top. You got big verandas, you know, porches, covered porches and stuff. And I mean, I have this question always at the back of my head, like, when is a house more expensive in a place like Montreal or Ontario? You know, is it in the winter where you're trying to heat, or is it in the summer when you're trying to air condition? And I feel that if I could come up with a design for a cabin, a log cabin, that will somehow stay cool-ish in the summer, without me having to run a generator for an air conditioner or a fan or something, then I think that would be a win. So I love the idea of like the really high peaked roof. Sorry guys, but we're not supposed to be online anymore right now. Little tiny windows or vents, right, to get the hot air out. like in the antebellum South. Big, not like huge. I don't mean like elephantine, but you know, a wraparound porch that's covered. You got some shade, because what that does is it keeps the sun from hitting the windows and heating up the inside of the cabin, right? I don't know where I'm going with this. I had a very clear concept of where I wanted to go, and then I just sort of started imagining this house in my
You're
head.
talking about cottages. You want a cottage, and why you want the porch wrapping around the sides.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So like, I have this idea of like when I
At
finally
least somebody's
build one-
listening.
Thank you. Thanks, Mister. When I finally get to build my log cabin, I would like to do a wraparound porch and kind of a higher peaked roof than, like, you know, the opposite of the Dick Brennicky cabin.
Yeah.
You know?
You want
Yeah.
something you can toboggan down in the wintertime, eh?
Practically. Although it's funny because Bill Kurtz, hi, by the way, says dick it deep in a hill. It's funny that you say that because I used to know 1 degree of separation. Okay. A friend of a friend. We all sort of worked in the same industry, but anyways, he built himself a house into a hillside, south facing hillside, I think. And what he did was, there was this long couloir, hallway that was a concrete wall inside, like where the mountain was. That side like was a concrete wall, and the other side was glass. And so what would happen was all day that concrete wall would heat up because of the sun. I think it was a south facing, and then all night it would radiate heat all night, long enough that he didn't ever have to turn on the heat in spring or fall. And I don't remember if it was far enough down the mountain that he could do the geothermic thing or not. I don't remember anything, but I do remember this long concrete hallway and how it was designed specifically as a passive heating source. It's amazing the things you can do when you sort of start to think about, if I want to passively heat and cool, what design decisions does that dictate for the place that I'm building, you know? I mean, there are people who specialize in those.
Well, you know what, gents? Before Jess falls asleep on here and makes me fall asleep, I'm going to go to bed.
All right. I think I am too.
I was just popping in to say hi anyways. I didn't think I'd be on for too long. So.
But, you know, it just got so damned interesting that you had to stay around.
Well, I'm glad you were on. I got to come in and say hi.
Yeah, I'm glad to see your face, man.
Yeah.
Glad to speak to you. One
Everybody
day,
in the chat, sweet dreams.
one day it's going to be in person.
Always good to
All right.
see you, Dennis.
Yeah,
You
see you
too,
later,
Russell.
Dennis.
You too, Jess. Later, guys.
Cliff says he lives in a passive solar home. That sounds cool, man. One day I got to see your place. Next time you're on my live stream, just give us a tour or something. But yeah, I guess I got to be at work in the morning, so I guess we should shut it down for the night. It's midnight. It's 10 past midnight.
Wait,
So-
Josh, don't go anywhere. I got to show you something after you end this.
Okay. For those of you who are still hanging out, thanks for hanging out to the bitter end. We went an extra hour tonight. I think it was absolutely worth it. This was very fun. Hope to see you next week. Hope to be on next week. Between now and then, everyone, please stay healthy, stay sane, stay safe, and be kind to one another. Good night. Good night, all. Bye. Peace out.